Okay, how you doing, fight fans? EJ Boxing Live here with a great panel again. Here to talk some boxing over the weekend. We've got great channels over here. We've got Boxing Beats and Rhymes. We've got Bert Sugar of this YouTube chip, Mr. Natty Turner. We've got What You Need all the way from the Caribbean. We have a guy, local guy over here, Ben Umar from New York. And obviously, I'm EJ Boxing Live. We're going to discuss the topics, go one by one, probably get into what fights we thinking are upcoming, and then probably have an overall general debate. So first off, the topic, obviously, the weekend. As you can see by the picture out there, on the Chocolito, Roman El Chocolito versus Edgar Sosa fight for the WBC Flyweight Championship. Natty Turner's unmuted already, so we're going to start with Natty Turner. Mr. Natty Turner, how did you see that fight, and what did you think of Chocolito's debut on HBO?
Man, excellent. He landed on HBO with a smash. Got him out of there in 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Yes, the Edgar Sosa was not a prime Edgar Sosa. He was on the decline, but still a quality win against a talented, very experienced former champion, and he did it with class, man. There was no rushing in. There was everything was calculated in there, calculated aggression, and he looked wonderful in there, man. He executed to perfection, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan, straight up and down, man. I can't wait to see more of this dude. A long time ago, I was put on to this dude by one of my coworkers, man, and he's from Nicaragua, and he was like, man, you ever heard about Roman Gonzalez? You know what I mean? He's at the minimum weight. He's the champ at the minimum weight. Rah, rah, rah. Go check him out. Go check him out. You know what I mean? And I meant to do videos on him in the past, but, you know, I was in and out of making videos at the time. You know what I mean? I was recording my album and all kinds of extra stuff I was doing. So I wasn't making videos consistently, man. And when I got back on, I even forgot about this whole thing, man. But this dude is a beast, and he's been a beast for a long time. At least heard about him since 2011. You know what I mean? So he's doing his thing, man. All
right, cool. Thanks for that. Now you can mute yourself and move on to go ahead, Boxing Beats and Rhymes.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked good. Done his thing, man. Like, you know, good pressure fighting, intelligent. It was a good debut, man. It was a good debut. It's good to see a small guy get on there, but we need to see a little more. I know Edgar Sosa was a former champion, so, you know, it spoke volumes, man. It spoke volumes that he could dispose of high-class competition like that, man. He looked good, man. He looked good.
Okay. Beast, do you know any of it? Do you know any of the other flyweight champions?
Any of the other flyweight champions?
I'm gonna remind you real quick, yeah. Annette Rongman, he beat Zhao Ximing in Macau the other day. You see that fight?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, then. All right. Then. Well, he's the IBF champion, and we got one Francisco Estrada.
I saw that fight. He put hands on Xu Shiming.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 minute, Umar.
Yes, sir.
1 minute, Umar. 1 minute, Umar.
I saw the Xu Ming fight. I saw the
Okay, yeah, that's the other champion. That's the other champion. So what you saw about that guy? How you think he was fair against Annette Rongman from Thailand?
Well, the guy who beat Xu Ming?
Yeah.
It could be tricky catching up with that guy because, you know, he's got some good evasive boxing techniques. It could be tricky, but I would expect Roman would have to be a big favorite. I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see it.
Okay then. Have you seen one Francisco Estrada before as well? He beat Brian Valora to capture the WBO title. He's got 2 belts. Have you seen him before? He's the other champion.
Did he fight Roman? Because I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, he did. He did fight Roman. It's on my channel. Yeah.
I haven't extensively studied him. I haven't extensively studied him.
Okay, don't worry about that. Well,
I saw the El Chocolito. I saw parts. I was trying to watch the whole of it. I didn't get through the whole of it.
Okay, no.
I watched it in spurts.
Yeah, because you know the thing is, Chocolito will come into this thing. Hopefully, we're gonna get a chance to see him with other champions. All right, Beats, thanks for that. Let me move on to let me go Umar and I'll do what you need. Umar, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think of the Chocolito's debut, bro?
What did you say?
What do you think of Chocolito's debut?
All right, yo, so we're talking about Chocolatito. All right, so he ran through Sosa. That was just that was just to get yourself welcome to the public fight because 9 out of 10 people ain't never seen him fight. So he splashed him, whatever. That's nothing. We're not worried about that. But like you said, you mentioned my boy. You mentioned Juan Francisco Estrada. You know me, I feel some type of way. Because Chocolatito never beat Juan Francisco Estrada. They fought. But in my opinion, Francisco Estrada won that fight. And I know you disagree, Errol. Yeah. I know Jared. I disagree, but I feel like my brother got robbed. I feel like my brother is hating. They hating on my brother right now. So that's how I feel about that. It's a good fight. Sosa got smashed out, but Errol, do me a favor, Errol Jared. Tell me why you feel like Chocolatito beat Estrada in that fight. And after the fact, I know Estrada beat up Valoria and all that blah, blah, blah. But tell me why you think he won that fight. Because in my opinion, there's no way in hell logical mind can tell me that he beat Francisco Estrada. But give it to me, Errol. Give it to me.
I'm Umar. I ain't gonna get into it with you about that. That's not.
I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on 1 second.
You need to mute yourself all day, mate, and all day and all night. Look, I'm not gonna get into it back of work and address me as EJ Boxing Live. I don't like my government name being out there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say to you, end of the day, in my opinion, Chocolatito won the fight. He was challenging for Chocolatito's title. He's won Francisco Estrada. And you have to either knock out, in my opinion, you have to knock out the champion or clearly.
You mean the lineal champion? You mean the lineal champion? Francisco Estrada. Let's get it right. The lineal champion. Let's get it right.
Yeah, Umar. That at the time it was the light flyweight championship. So now we're in the flyweight championship. So it was a light flyweight he was challenging for. And the WBA light flyweight championship. And then
brother Arrow ain't letting nothing go. He ain't letting nothing go. You people listed on the video, my brother Arrow don't let nothing go.
EJ Boxing Live, man. Umar, my name's EJ Boxing Live. I told you already. Look, I'm moving on, Umar. You just want to go around and say.
My brother EJ Boxing Live don't let nothing slip past him.
Umar,
you don't let nothing slip past him.
Who would you like, Omar? So let me ask you, who would you like Chocolatito to fight next? Let me ask you that, and then we can move on to what you need. Go ahead.
Alright, you want to ask me?
I'm asking you who should
I want to see him fight Juan Francisco Estrada. The best. And I don't want to hear what you need. I don't want to hear what you need because I'm going to eat the cock for the both of us. We both Trinity boys. I don't want to hear that, brother. We both Trinity boys. I want to see him fight Juan Francisco Estrada. What you need? Don't say nothing. You better agree with me, brother. You better agree with me.
Umar, mute yourself and don't interrupt now. That's it, Umar. You burned enough. That's it, Umar. That's it. You burned. Mute yourself. All right, thank you. What you need, unmute yourself, please. That's enough of Umar. All right, what you need, what do you think of Chocolatito's debut, bro?
I thought it was a featured event to showcase him against Estrada, against Sosa. I think Sosa came into that fight. He had to make weight because I think he came in overweight on the scales. Then he had to make weight, so he was a little bit, I believe, weight drained. But that's on him because he's been flyweight for a long time, so that's on him. But all in all, just a clinical breakdown of Estrada. What I noticed about Roman Gonzalez, though, just like with Gennady Golovkin, and I'm glad that Ben Umar talked about the Estrada fight because the Estrada fight exposed that, is that Roman Gonzalez cannot fight going backwards. Neither can Gennady Golovkin.
Okay, so who would you like him to fight next? Roman Gonzalez to fight next. Do you know the other champions, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Which champions do you know?
Brian Valoria is the one I would like to see him. Just hold on. Let me finish, please.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Brian Valoria is the person I would like to see. The Hawaiian Punch, I would like to see him fight that guy. Because Brian Valoria, I mean, Juan Estrada did beat Brian Viloria, as also did Edgar Sosa, way back in 2007. And I think that Viloria brings to the table very good boxing skills. He was an Olympian as well, and he's a good sharp boxer. He has a very short reach, but he has decent boxing skills, and he has been a world champion. Edgar Sosa is a little bit old. So is Viloria, actually, but Viloria has never been knocked out. His 4 losses have all been close decisions. Well, some people will argue not. So I also like Viloria's style. So I would like to see how he would fare against Viloria. Would he be able to stop him? Would he be able to get a decision over him, a unanimous decision? Gonzalez is the thing that makes, I don't want to talk too much, but the thing that makes Gonzalez interesting is 2 things. He's extremely well conditioned and he's very strong. So even when you land punches on Gonzalez, he can take them like GGG. He can take those punches because he's a big flyweight. He came in at I think is 124 pounds on fight night, you know, and these guys are what, 112 pounds, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So he's a big boy, and he can take punches. And the thing I like about him, he's an elite athlete in the sense that he's very, very well conditioned. You see his punches are crisp, they're sharp, they're accurate for the most part. When you make him miss, he really misses though. So I'm looking for a good enough boxer who is not just going to push his head into the way and get uppercutted. You need someone who has more skill than that. And I think Daniel Estrada, like Ben Omar was saying, he was good competition. I just watched the fight recently there, and I kind of changed my mind. I think Estrada actually beat him. Yeah, after watching it again. But it was a close fight, so whichever way.
Oh yeah, it was a close fight. All right, thanks for that. What you need, you can mute yourself for a second. All right, so what I have in front of you, fight fans, we have the flyweight rankings, and as you can see at the top here, Roman Gonzalez is at #1. Right, this is the fight I would like to see because I've covered the flyweight fight division quite extensively. There's a guy here from Puerto Rico here. This guy here, Matt Williams Arroyo, he fought this guy here, Annette Arongrang, yeah, the one who beat Joe Shiming. Right, this guy's a banger. I'd love to see him fight Chocolito. This is the fight I'd like to see. To see how he'd fit. Right, he's a heavy-headed, fisted guy. Comes forward, you know, he struggled with Net Rungrang because Rungrang's style is more like a Mayweather style. But that's the fight I'd like to see. And obviously, like what you said, the Brian Valora fight, you can see he's ranked #3, and Estrada's they're obviously the #1, and that's a good fight for him. Right, that's a good fight for him. I'd like to see that. For me, it's this guy here, and Net Rungrang from Thailand. Yeah, he gives them guys trouble. You know, I'd like to see Estrada fight him or Chocolito fight him to see if he can try and take the IBF strap from him. So what we're looking at for me is him to try and unify and get all the belts in the division. But the Estrada fight, he's already beat Estrada, well, maybe not in you guys' eyes. That would be the big money fight, Mexico versus Nicaragua. That would be the big money fight. And you can see Edgar Soka here. Obviously, for people to understand, it's not like Willie Monroe. I don't know where Willie Monroe's ranked in the middleweight division, but you can see Edgar Soka's ranked fairly highly, as you can see at #4. And this guy here, Kazuta Ioka, from Japan, and that Rongrang's already beat him already, right? But this guy here has just picked up the WBA strap, so I'd like to see him. Maybe he can fight Chocolito in Japan. And everyone's talking about this guy, Master Louis. I don't know if you know about him. I'll bring him up actually. Let me bring him up real quick. The Master Nui, who just catch the belt from Omar Navaya from Argentina. This guy here, the monster, right? They're looking to make this fight in the new year, and this guy's a serious monster. With 8 fights and 7 knockouts, straight away in his 3rd fight, he became a world champion, boy. Like probably one of the youngest champions in boxing. And this guy is a serious threat. So maybe this would be the mega fight right here against the monster. Max kind of actually brought it up. So that's the fight I'd like to see. So some good times for HBO and good times for boxing in the flyweight division and junior flyweight. So we're going to move on. I'm going to start with boxing, beats and rhymes. So, Beats, we're going to talk about the main event of the evening, Triple G, Golovkin versus Willie Monroe. Go ahead, Beats.
Predictable, man, you know. Tank up against a pea shooter business, wasn't it? You know, and
we see a tank versus a pea shooter.
yeah. Golovkin being a tank, obviously, and the guy come up short. You see, you know, at this level here, people can say, "Oh yeah, you've got skills and you might be able to do this," but you need that something extra. You know, if you're gonna beat someone like Golovkin, you need something extra, man. So like, it might not take the most exceptional fighter, but it's gonna take a fighter with something there. You know, and Willie, I mean, like, he done okay, but I think people are over exaggerating how well he did. You know, he landed a couple of punches. So what? You know what I mean? I think what you know what's happened, man. There's so many belts, so many title fights. We're actually getting not dehumanized. We're getting desensitized to what championship boxing is. You're supposed to land a couple of punches if you're a title champion. We're making it a big deal like he really did something. It's just the fact that Golovkin's competition has been so woefully inept, right? Okay. Look, I'm not a boxing coach, so it's not up to me to figure, yeah, maybe you should fight him inside. I knew that from the Umar fight. How come none of these guys have done anything to even push him out of his comfort zone? That just shows the weakness of his competition. And look, he done well. He got rid of it. But I don't know how long HBO can continue this. I'm not sure how long they can continue this. I think if they're saying everyone's ducking him, if that is the case, then boxing has to stop, freeze. What's going on here? How can we stop this? Because I don't actually believe that's the case. I don't think Abe Sanchez and his people are pushing for the fights like they should do. I think they've got a contingency of supporters who are just happy to see him knock over anyone, and they don't really care. That's what I believe. Yeah, and look, he's a good fighter, but I need to know how good. You know.
Okay, cool, man. All right, go ahead, Mr. Natty Turner. Beach, mute yourself. Thanks very much.
Yeah, man. I didn't think he would win. Put it that way. I didn't think he would win, but I thought he would last the rounds. But like I said in my prediction video, in order for him to last the 12 rounds doing what he does, he would have to be able to take the punch, and he couldn't take the punch. You know what I mean? As soon as he really got cracked, he got out of his game plan. You know what I mean? He stopped with the moving. He stopped he stopped what he was doing. He stopped what made round one, in my opinion anyway, a successful round for him. You know what I mean? As soon as he got cracked, everything went out the window. He felt like he needed to get into a firefight with Gennady Golovkin, and that played right into Golovkin's hands, man. And you know, like Beef said, pea shooter against a tank, man. You're not gonna win that war. You're not gonna win that war. In order for you to have been even more successful last night, you were gonna have to use your assets. And he wouldn't tie up for love nor money. He would not tie up. You know what I mean? When he got cracked. I mean, I don't know if it's a machismo thing. I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with tying up when you're hurt. You know what I mean? I know Floyd has been getting flack for it for the fight. Don't pay attention to that. You know, John Ruiz, he's an excessive clincher. You know what I'm saying? Klitschko has done excessive clinching in the past. But tying up every now and then is part of boxing. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? And he could have made this fight a little more difficult for Triple G if he just did just little things in there, man. He had all the assets in the world, but after watching his fights, I knew the experience would be on the side of Triple G, and him liking to go against the ropes as he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen him do it with lesser fighters, and he couldn't do that against Triple G. I was screaming at him to get off the ropes several times. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, the first time he got caught in the freaking corner. You know what I mean? With I think it was a left hook. If my memory served me correctly, a left hook had him wobbling and on the floor very quickly. But he showed a lot of heart. And is Triple G overrated? Only if you rated him higher than he performed last night. You know what I mean? To me, he's not overrated because that's pretty much how I saw him. The way he performed last night, he has a good punch. He has definitely good assets, but his ability to cut off the ring is okay, depending on who he's in the ring with. To me, he didn't really cut off the ring successfully against El Mongoose Monroe. El Mongoose Monroe kind of gave up his advantages as far as the movement goes because he wanted to get into the firefight after he got hurt. So, like I said, it was going to be more difficult for him to cut off the ring against a guy who has equal or better footwork or foot speed than he has. You know what I'm saying? It was very effective against guys that really didn't move that well. But when you get into the ring with somebody who has excellent footwork, you know what I'm saying, and very fast footwork, you know what I mean, very fast foot movement, you know what I mean, it's going to be a more difficult task. But yeah, he's and in my opinion, his defense is lacking. He gets hit way too much, but he was getting hit before he got in the ring with Mongoose. You know what I'm saying? Mongoose kind of made it a little more flashy. He reeled off punches on him in a way I haven't seen it done before. You know what I mean? Maybe against Kasim Uma. Kasim Uma did reel off a few combinations on him. But we haven't seen that in a long time, so we kind of, you know, out of sight, out of mind with that. But he's very hittable dude. You know what I'm saying? Defense is not his, you know, the first thing on his list when it comes to how he fights. His jab is okay. Sometimes that left hand is a little wide, in my opinion. But Triple G, he has to beat somebody of significance for me to put him on the pedestal that a lot of people are putting him on. That's my opinion. But he did what he had to do tonight against Willie Mongoose Monroe.
Okay, then. Thanks for that, Nate. What you need? Unmute yourself, man. Nate, go ahead. What you need? Go ahead. Nate, put yourself on mute there. Go ahead. What you need? Yeah, Nate. Yeah. Go on.
I'd like to piggyback off of what Natty said. I think he's got very good attributes in terms of strength and power, but he's also a very good boxer. He's a very good boxer. But the thing that I noticed again about Gennady Golovkin, is that me?
Go ahead, man.
Okay. The thing I recognized about Gennady Golovkin is that he doesn't fight going backwards. He's vulnerable going backwards. Oscar De La Hoya was correct in saying that if you can push these guys back, they have no answer. When I watched Juan Estrada push back Roman Gonzalez, and another fight that Roman Gonzalez was involved in, if you guys go pay attention to that fight, it was a fight in his home country against Leon. I think it's Valentin Leon. That was in Nicaragua. That fight, he was able to push him back. The fighter, he didn't have much punching power, but he was able to actually land a whole bunch of shots on Roman Gonzalez, right? Overhand rights, everything. Body, headshots, etc. But he didn't have the sufficient power to really do much to him. And same thing with Gennady Golovkin tonight. This has happened with Martin Murray. Don't remember, guys. This is not just something that's a one-shot stuff. This is something that's happened before. Martin Murray also landed a bunch of punches on Gennady Golovkin as well, and Golovkin takes those punches with his head. So Golovkin, Roman Gonzalez, even Kovalov to some degree, even though Kovalov has a completely different style to those two guys, they fight well on the front foot. I call them front foot fighters. They're very effective on the front foot, but on the back foot, they're very vulnerable. So once you get them in a defensive posture, they're in trouble. Now, here's the thing I noticed with Willie Monroe. He was talking all this talk about what he was going to do. I didn't see him jab. Anybody saw him really commit to a nice, strong power jab at any time? Did anybody see that?
Yeah, he jabbed a little, man. He jabbed a little. in the first round.
He threw it, but he didn't commit. It wasn't consistent.
Right. He became tentative because guess who won the battle of the jabs? Gennady Golovkin. He won that battle. And Willie Monroe actually admitted at the end of the fight saying that he was controlling range and distance. And that's because Monroe was hesitant to throw his jab because he knew that it was a stiff jab coming in return from Gennady Golovkin. So Golovkin pretty much won that battle, and the fight was over after that. But the point is that Golovkin, he steps before he jabs. So, like, even if you look at Roman Gonzalez, he does the same thing. He steps first, then throws the jab to get a lot of leverage into the jab. But when he steps, that means he telegraphs what he's about to do. So if you're good enough as a boxer, and this is how, you see, I know Monroe doesn't have the experience. He's talking like Chris Algieri. He understands what is necessary to beat Golovkin, but it's another thing when you get in the ring with Golovkin to understand how specifically to do that. So it was a wonderful talk, to be honest with you, but the action is another story. And there are certain things you just don't do with Golovkin. You don't change levels and dip into his punching range. You just don't do that. Because Golovkin is good at throwing those short uppercuts and those short hooks, not to your body, but to your head when you dip in. He's excellent with the body work as well. So he actually, to me, Golovkin more boxed this fight than just kind of used the Mexican style and shift. He didn't do a lot of that. He mostly boxed Monroe to beat him, which was interesting. He kind of changed up the style a bit. So, I mean, a guy like Golovkin, you have to turn him constantly. You have to turn Golovkin and catch him at angles. That's the only way. You have to turn him. You can't be moving straight back. You can't just be turning. You can't be going laterally. The thing with Monroe, he moves laterally, but he doesn't always move in and out, change range and come out of range. He doesn't know how to do that because he couldn't establish his jab. So Golovkin basically started tagging him all over the place. He was landing lead rights on him. When he tried to pivot out of the way, he would get caught with a lead right. It was amazing. I mean, I was looking at it and I was like, yep.
Let me ask a question real quick. Do you believe that Golovkin carried Monroe a couple of rounds? That's been put out there because Golovkin said that he didn't want to knock him out straight away. You know, Willie Monroe had some cess. That's what you need quickly, and now you could jump in a bit. What you need, do you feel like he carried him a couple of rounds is Golovkin? Just comment on that a bit.
I think Monroe changed it up and Golovkin had to adjust. He had to adapt to that change up. I think that's what happened.
Okay. Go on, continue what you were saying. Go on. Go ahead.
No, that's basically it with me and Golovkin. Golovkin's a dude. I saw him fight a guy from Panama, I think it was. Panamanian guy. Both of them are inside fighters. So Golovkin's at home on the inside, and he's at home mid-range. That's it for Golovkin. Golovkin's inside mid-range fighter. He's not a fighter who fights on the outside. So if you can establish a jab of some kind, turn Golovkin, keep on changing angles on him, he's in deep trouble, right? So and this is just it. This is the fact about Golovkin. But I've seen him fight against a Panamanian guy who was really giving him a lot for his money. And when the guy started pushing back Golovkin, like he was just getting tagged up. And Golovkin depends on his technique and his power and his accuracy to counterpunch you, to catch and shoot. Or when you're going to throw a hook, that means you're open on another side for him to throw a hook. So that's what he counts on to actually his strength, his power, and his technique to overcome his opponents. Same thing with Roman Gonzalez. They're the same kind of fighter.
Okay. All right. Yeah. While I'm talking to Natty, see if we can find the Panamanian guy. Look up the name because for myself as well. Thanks for that. What you need. You could put yourself on mute. When you find a name, unmute yourself and let me know. Natty, you wanted to jump in on the did he carry the rounds? Beach, you can comment after that if you want as well. Go ahead, Natty.
Yeah, I don't believe that in the least bit. You know what I mean? Monroe did what he had to do, you know what I'm saying, adjusted his game plan and just forced Gennady Golovkin to adjust. I've heard he claim that on several occasions. It's not the first time he's saying that, you know what I mean? I think he said so against Martin Murray and a couple of other guys, but I don't believe for 1 minute that he's carrying anybody. To be honest with you, I think if you have success against Gennady Golovkin, you work for it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you get knocked out or not.
Cool. Thanks for that, Nate. What you need? You got the name? Nah. What you need? You to unmute yourself. Have you got the name of the Panamanian guy? Oh, let me ask Beats. Go ahead, Beats. What do you think? Did you carry him a couple of rounds?
Thinking about it now, I reckon he could have done.
Go ahead, Beats. Go ahead, Beats.
Look, he's fighting 4 times a year against this level here, and there was one. I think after he floored him, you could see, like, I don't know if he was getting bored or confident. Started banging his hands together and started chasing him. Then he slowed down, and I think he could have taken him apart more or less when he wanted. I think to a degree, yeah, I think he could have probably pushed. I don't think he could have stopped him landing them punches, but I think he could have pushed him back when my guy was standing his ground. I think he could have done, you know, because like I'm saying, the opposition isn't that remarkable, so he can practice a lot of stuff in these fights here, because you know he's got such an advantage. He's so way advanced over this level here. I think I'm not saying he definitely did. I think he could have done. Yeah, I reckon he could have done.
Okay, all right, cool, man. Thanks for that. What you need? Do you have the name of the Panamanian guy?
He's not Panamanian. Sorry, he's Colombian.
What's his name? You're on mute. You're on mute. You need to unmute. Go ahead.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nilson Julio Tapia. He's a Colombian guy.
How many rounds did the fight go?
That fight was. Hold on. It went 3 rounds.
Went 3 rounds. Okay.
Wait a minute. Who is this? Yeah, this is the guy.
It went 3 rounds in there. Okay, all right.
I don't know. Is this the same guy? I actually watched this fight.
3 rounds in the. Okay, all right. If you saw him do something, because I thought you were saying like he actually gave Golovkin some, because I know
No, it was a bang out. It was a bang out, and he did push him back though.
But I know Casimiro, and what I know from Beats and Casimiro gave him the most trouble. So this is the first time I heard about that guy. But you know what? I will check it out. And fight fans, you know, you heard it first, so you go check it out.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to be the guy's Tapia.
All right, cool. All right, Umar. All right, mute yourself. What you need? Thanks for that. Wait, Umar, you there? I guess Umar's not there. Umar's probably listening to the show. All right, so what we're gonna do, so it's my turn. What you need? You can mute yourself for a second here, real quick. All right, so okay. So what I'm gonna do? So this, you mute yourself. What you need? Thanks, yeah. Thanks. All right. So what you have here is the top 10. Now, as you know, obviously Triple G's here #1, and you obviously Miguel Cotto, because obviously he's the linear champion because he beat Sergio Martinez. And right, so you'd like to see them getting on. So let's look how many people Triple G's actually faced in the top 10. So going down, you know he's already beat Daniel Gill, he's beat Martin Murray, and anyone else? No. But what we're saying is that obviously Jermaine Taylor, he's not obviously. Billy Joe Saunders don't want no part. Jacobs, you know what I mean? I don't know if Jacobs wanted. Eubanks just got into the top 10 because he just got the interim WBA belt. So we're looking at Bailey, and we're looking at people like Quillen, Andy Lee, and Cole. That's the 4 fights room. And obviously people want to see the Canelo fight. Obviously he's a weight class underneath. So these are the fights Triple G really needs. At the Andy Lee fight,
but you have Endam as well though.
Sorry, you're right. Undam. Good point. Thanks for that. Undam. The Undam fight. I think who's Undam fighting for the belt? Who's he fighting for the belt?
He's fighting David Lemieux.
David Lemieux. So the winner of them two, maybe the winner of them two could fight Triple G. But really and truly, looking in the division, it's not that strong, right? Especially down here, from Billy Joe Saunders, Jacobs, and Eubank Jr. But you know what? If you want anyone, Eubank Jr. has been talking jive here, and boy, you know what? Like, and he's the WBA interim. I wonder if they put that person to Eubank Jr. that he'll read. I reckon he'll take it, you know. I reckon he'll take the fight. I don't think he'll win, but I reckon he'll take it. His dad was saying that he thinks he could beat Triple G and all that stuff. But maybe that's all just talk and bravado. But maybe that fight, but the Cotto.
Not if he fights like a Super Saiyan.
Well, he's going against Billy Joe Saunders, yeah. He's going against Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know why I don't even know why they want to do that rematch, but he wants to obviously get back his thing. I don't know why he wants to go back in there again. It's the waste of time. But on the Andam fight, obviously, yeah, that's what he needs, dude. So I reckon he, versus him. And like, so Triple G's trying to say all these guys to me, they're all kind of tied up. Ang Lee and Kid Chocolate, so they fought. And that was a draw, whatever. I don't know. And it wasn't even at the middleweight. It was bloody a catchweight, whatever. But to be honest with you, Triple G eats everyone.
The only person on that list that I see is not in a rush to fight Triple G. I won't say afraid, but not in a rush is Peter Quillin and Miguel Cotto. Yeah. And Miguel Cotto is at a place in his career where he calls all shots right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not, worried about Triple G. He'll fight Triple G on his own time. At least that's how he feels. You know what I mean? He said he basically feels like I've done enough in this sport. I've proved that I'm a warrior. I have a reputation. You know what I'm saying? I've done what I needed to do in this sport. Now I'm making decisions that's gonna benefit me as a fighter and as a businessman, you know what I'm saying, as the controller of Miguel Cotto Promotions, you know what I'm saying, in league with Rock Nation, you know what I mean, whatever, business transaction they have going on. So Miguel Cotto, and to be honest with you, Miguel Cotto can win a fight against Triple G. You know what I mean? Based on what I've seen of Miguel Cotto and what I've seen of Triple G, he can win the fight, and he also could get knocked out. You know what I mean? He also could get knocked out, but that's not a fight that he can't win. And Peter Quillin, let's see if he makes the weight in his next fight. Put it that way, before we even start talking about Peter Quillin. I think that. Let's see. I think Andy Lee wouldn't mind fighting him. Daniel DeGille got in the ring with him. I think Hassan Endam is chomping at the bit to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Martin Murray already fought him. Who else do we have on there?
The guy, you know what? From here, top 6, they're weak after. I mean, after the top 6, look. And
yeah, these are the top guys. These guys are inexperienced and in jail. You know what I'm saying?
No point. There's no point.
Maybe Danny Jacobs, but I'm not sure about Jacobs' chin. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about his chin. You're gonna have to be able to take a couple shots from Triple G in order to be successful. If you're gonna crumble under the pressure, and the first time you get hit, you're gonna be like, your whole game plan and your whole strategy is gonna change. Then you might not want to even get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. But if you're gonna be able to, hold your composure, you know what I'm saying, stick to the game plan and work shit out, you should be able to, have no problem getting in the ring with Gennady Golovkin. And that's the only thing I would say about Danny Jacobs. He's a very talented fighter, but I'm not sure about his chin. As soon as Golovkin touches him, his whole shit is gonna crumble. You know what I mean? Unless he shows me different. I mean, he has the opportunity to. He's the regular WBA champion. He should be the #1 contender for Gennady's belt, and he should be trying to get that fight as soon as possible, instead of defending against Caleb Truax or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? This is the guy he should be wanting to fight. So it is what it is, though, man. But as far as these middleweights, I don't like I said, only Miguel Cotto and Peter Quillin have really any thing to say about fighting him. The rest of these guys are willing to fight him. Andy Lee is willing to get in there with him. I'm sure. I offer Andy Lee to fight. I bet you he takes it. You know what I'm saying? And you're claiming you want to unify. Offer Andy Lee to fight. I bet you he said, hell yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. I bet you. You know what I'm saying? Landy Lara has been calling you out. He's the real Cuban style. He's a lot more experienced. You know what I'm saying? He is not Willie Monroe. You know what I mean? Trust me, he'll bring something else to the table, but they're not interested in that fight. Nope. You know what I mean? Abel Sanchez is on record saying that Willie Monroe is a more well-known fighter than Landy Lara.
Crazy.
Are you out of your mind? Why would you even say that in public? Stop it. Stop it. You're making yourself look a little bad right here. You're making your fighter look bad. Don't speak for him no more if that's what you're going to say. You know what I mean? After the fight, he didn't really seem interested in the Andre Ward competition. You know what I'm saying? The only fighters he was interested in are the 254-pounders. Well, you can't put Miguel Cotto there because he's a champion of the division and you got to hold him to that and all of that good shit. But he's a really 154-pounder. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. And Canelo and Miguel Cotto are the fights that are in his eyesight right now. He's really not interested in the rest of the middleweight division at this particular time. You know what I'm saying? Not interested in a true middleweight like Andy Lee. Who a lot of people could say he's chinny, but he's resilient. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely resilient, and he will get up if you put him down.
I mean, look, no, I was gonna say, moving on slightly. I actually feel, in my opinion, someone's calling me. 1 second, guys. Someone calling me.
Jay?
Who's calling me? I must be J Dills or some other people.
J Dills.
Yo, was it J Dills?
Hangout, fam.
Hey, J Dills, I'll send you the link for you to jump in, yeah?
Yeah, this is the last week's joint.
Yeah. I'll send the link now. Them guys.
Right.
Yeah, you're in the wrong hangout, my man. He over there with T in there. I bet he over there. Hey, what I was gonna say, I think what's his name? Daniel Gill will give trouble to Miguel Cotto. Now, the reason why they picked him, as you can see by the knockout percentage, 16 knockouts, so Freddie Rose knows that he can't hurt. But man, I'm telling you, he's got a good engine. I know he's coming down a bit, but I think he'll give Cotto some power, so Cotto some trouble. They're trying to make it as even as possible. Even Cotto said, I'm the ace, and I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. But you know what? I think Daniel Gill will give him some serious trouble, man. Like, I mean, on work rate, he can go with Cotto. But power, Cotto ain't really shown me too much power in the thing. And he's a legit middleweight in terms of thing. He's more middleweight than Sergio Martinez. So I think, that could be, that could be an upset right there. People sleeping on it. But me personally, I'm thinking, and I'll let What You Need jump in. What You Need jump in and let the people know about your guy and Dam. If your guy and Dam gets through Lemieux, you think he can really do something with Golovkin? Go let everyone know about that. Go ahead.
Well, Endam has been knocked down 6 times by Peter Quillen, right? In the fight with Peter Quillen, but Peter Quillen couldn't get him out of there. So that's one interesting thing. But the other thing that's interesting about Endam to me is that he really boxes, uses his jab. You saw him knock down Curtis Stevens, sorry. So he's a good boxer, and he's much more experienced than Monroe. I think he's more like a Martin Murray, but much more slicker, knows what to do. So yeah, I see him not only giving Gennady Golovkin problems, but he could really irritate Gennady Golovkin, frustrate him, turn him, eventually walk Golovkin down. I know you guys may be shocked hearing this.
Oh no,
he could actually turn the tides on him.
No, I'm not shocked at all because Go ahead, break it down for the people if you think.
Because remember, Curtis Stevens he's no Gennady Golovkin, but Curtis Stevens gave Gennady Golovkin a good run for his money as well. And when he started to back Golovkin up, notice how vulnerable Golovkin was to those punches he was throwing. So again,
I was saying the same thing after watching Endam fight Curtis Stevenson.
Exactly. So I'm saying these guys, they don't know what to do when you backing them up. They're the bully. They're very good at what they do coming forward. But when it comes to going backwards, even Kovalev, he has a problem going backwards. I saw Pascal expose him in that regard, counter-punching him. Their whole thing in going backwards is to try to catch you as you are coming forward. But if you're a smart fighter who takes the time to go forward on them as well, but you can't do it in the beginning. They're too strong. You know who else is like that? Danny Garcia. And Lamont Peterson did the work on him. It's the exact same formula you have to use. A Herrera exposed Danny Garcia. I'm telling you, a good boxer will expose these guys. That's what you got to do.
Okay, well, we burnt enough on this. Burnt enough on it. J Dills has jumped in real quick. Let me ask J Dills. J Dills, you there? J Dills.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother? You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, J Dills. Yeah, comment on the Triple G versus Willie Monroe fight, man.
Man, that fight, it was exactly what I said in the video. Whenever Willie Monroe is at the right range to throw punches, he don't throw much at all. Or he don't throw punches that have bad intentions. He just stay there, getting defensive, keep his head high where he can get time for left hooks and stuff. And he should have kept it, since he's a mid-range fighter, he should have kept it in the middle of the ring where Triple G wouldn't have him cornered or anything. And when he was throwing punches in the middle of the ring and utilized the whole ring, he was becoming successful. He was actually tagging Triple G with some combinations. But Willie Monroe's personality is not to really throw that many punches or really be that offensively minded. He's just, elusive, get in, get out, throw a pot shot here and there, and just throw a jab to keep his range and his distance. And that's not going to work on somebody like Triple G. But this fight did teach me one thing, though. Canelo might have a chance of beating Triple G. Because when Golovkin got hit with some uppercuts he didn't see coming, it seemed like he was a little stunned and stuff. I was like, oh, Canelo could set that up. But as far as the fight, it was entertaining as long as it lasts. I was liking what Monroe was finally doing the fourth round. Fifth round, Triple G went back to work. But overall, entertaining fight, but it was just too much Triple G for me.
Okay, all right, we're gonna move on because we spent a lot of time in it. So what we're gonna do, as you can see on the chart here, we're gonna cover some fights. So Beach, you go first. I'll mute yourself. As you can see, you can see it on the screen. We got Alexander Povetkin versus Mike Perez Beats, and we've got Alex Leopold versus Manuel Char. That's on Moscow. That's gonna be on a Friday. What do you think about that fight?
Povetkin versus Perez.
Yeah.
Like it relies on what kind of condition Perez comes in, man. I mean, like, he's got to be in shape, and it also depends on how much killer instinct and ambition he's got after maiming that Abdul Salamov guy. Like, these things can tell. They can tell on a boxer's psyche. You see what happened to Chris Eubank in the UK after what he did to Michael Watson. Definitely had an effect on his killer instincts in the ring. And Povetkin's got a new physique. Perez, maybe? I don't know. He's putting people away, though. Putting people away, because he used to have a little doughboy physique. But now he's kind of, got the old Johnny Bravo shoulders and arms and stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm rooting for Perez. And to me, you'd have to put Povetkin a slight favorite. You'd have to maybe have him perhaps a slight favorite.
Okay. All right. Alex Leopold versus Manuel Char.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one. It doesn't really mean much to me, to be honest with you.
No problem. All right, thanks for that. Mute yourself. Natty, go ahead, man. Burn on that. Them two fights.
Yeah, man. The Perez and Povetkin fight, that's a stylistic matchup that's going to be very entertaining, man. Well, based on what both of them bring to the table, it's going to be a very explosive fight. Like Beat said, as long as Mike Perez comes in shape. All right? As long as Mike Perez comes in shape, this is going to be an explosive fight. I'm leaning to Perez just slightly. I haven't seen Povetkin. I'm not aware of the Johnny Bravo shoulders or anything like that. Last time I saw him, he was a chubby little heavyweight there, man. But Yeah, man. Based on what I know of both fighters, I think Perez could edge it out, but he got to come in shape, man. Definitely got to come in shape. And as far as the Char Leopold, battle of the bums, who cares?
Wow, it's like that. Go ahead, what you need. I think you might be on mute, bro. You tell me.
I agree with everything they just said, so I don't need to say any more on that. I'm also for I'm for Perez as well. He's too slick. He's slick. That's the thing about Perez.
Okay. You gonna put anything else on that? You're just gonna leave it as that, right?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
J Dills, go ahead, man.
This fight is with Povetkin and Perez. That's going to be a hell of a fight as long as it lasts. I see Povetkin getting hurt. I see 7th round stoppage for Mike Perez. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that fight. But the second fight, yeah, that is a bomb ass fight. So yeah, I'm just gonna dust that away and not give a fuck.
You need to mute yourself, J Dills, man. That sounds bad, bro. I think that's me sending the message, sending thing to JRB. I think it was. Doesn't matter.
And Perez, that's going to be a hell of a fight as long as it lasts. I see Povetkin getting hurt. I see 7th round stoppage for Mike Perez.
Oh, yeah. BB, you need to turn off the YouTube, turn the volume down on the YouTube thing before you jump in. J Dills, finish what you were saying, yeah?
Yeah, the second fight, it's a dusty fight for me, so I'm going to dust that off and watch it, but not really give a fuck who wins. And yay, whoever wins. That's all I got to say.
Oh, okay, let me ask Jay Habib, how you doing, my bro? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, man, everyone's here. Glad to have you over, man. All right.
OGB.
Yeah. All right. On the Golovkin fight and Willie Monroe. Go ahead, man.
You know, it's funny because people are talking about, like, the success that Monroe had, but I hate to say this, and I said it earlier to someone else. I think Golovkin carried him a little bit. I don't think Golovkin really pushed it like he could have. I suspect he could have got him out of there in 2 or 3 rounds if he really wanted to. I think Golovkin wants to go rounds now. I think he's tired of blowing these guys out of there. So, you know, taking nothing away from Monroe, I just think Golovkin, you know, he realizes what he can do against certain guys. It was almost like he was like taking some of Monroe's shots just to see what he had. Not saying that's a smart thing to do, but I don't know. I just think that, you know, he was just so much better than this kid. It's almost like in sparring, if you've ever sparred or you see guys spar, when one guy's so much better than the other guy, at some point in the sparring match, he says, well, let me play around a little bit. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do that, which are things he wouldn't do against the guy who could probably hurt him if he tried to do those things. So that's just the way I looked at it, what I saw. My opinion, you know, I could be wrong, but I'm just tired of these 25-1 mismatches. It's like watching a movie that I already know the ending to. I'm just tired of it, man.
If you was watching any run, you saw the top 10 in the middleweight. So who do you think could give him challenge? You know, what he's already put at that. And you got anyone in the top 10 who could give?
I don't think there's anyone in this division that could challenge him. I get arguments daily about this, and you know, people want him to clean out the division. Number one, nobody wants to fight him, and number two, he's just too much. He's just so much better than everyone else, man. It's not even close. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe the end down fight may be a little bit interesting, but after seeing Quillen drop that dude 6 times, I don't know, man. I think Golovkin puts him out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, maybe there's no one. All right, because we were talking about. So I'm gonna ask you as well. Povetkin versus Perez and Alex Leopold versus Manuel Char happening in Moscow on Friday. What do you think?
I don't think Perez, you know, is right mentally. I still don't think he's right mentally. And you know, Perez was always had the talent, but he never really did anything more than what he had to do to just get by and win. And now he's got that, you know, that mental issue now after with the Magnev fight. You know, I still think that he's past that. So I think he's got a lot of things going on inside his head. And I think Povetkin has that type of style where he likes to get inside. And Perez, you know, is a boxer. He likes to create space. He's more or less that Cuban type style, likes to fight on the outside. But he's just not a hard worker in there, and I don't think he has the strength or the consistency with his jab. He won't use his jab enough to keep Povetkin up on the outside. And once Povetkin gets inside and he's allowed to, you know, dig to the body and throw those short uppercuts and hooks on the inside, I think he can wear down Perez and possibly stop him. So you know, Perez at one point was a guy who most people thought could be a very good fighter, a solid fighter. But I just think that mentally he had a lot of things going on, and he really couldn't put it all together. And I'm thinking Povetkin's going to probably handle him.
Yeah, Perez, I think so as well. What about Alex Leopai versus Manuel Charr? No one really want to comment on that, man.
I don't know what to say about that one, man. You're gonna have to help me out with that one. I don't know who's gonna win that one.
Hey man, I think it would be a good entertaining fight, man. You know what I mean? You got the Australian guy, Manuel Charr. I like the fight, man. I like the fight. Temrad should be interesting, man. I mean, so you know, it's on Friday, nothing's going on. Maybe you know, get a knockout, a couple of knockdowns in that fight. Who knows? All right, we're gonna go into the big one, right? Go to the big time. Please unmute yourself. All right, James DeGale versus Andre Durrell. Go ahead, Beats, man. Let's break that one now. Go ahead. Boxing Beats, you there? Because Beats might be doing something. All right, let me ask Natty Turner. Go ahead, Natty Turner.
Man,
Beats. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead, Beats. Go ahead. Natty.
Durrell and DeGale, yeah?
Yeah, Beats.
I tell you what, man. He's fighting away from home. It's a tough ask, man. But if any British fighter can do it, I think DeGale, two-handed fighter, and I think he's a better inside fighter. I think he might want it more than Andre. I'm not sure how much Andre wants it, man. Like just the way he reacted after the Abraham fight. You know, he took so long out, and I don't know. He's quite capable. It's a great matchup. Like a lot of people say that it's going to be a boring fighter. You know, that it's going to be a boring fight because you know they're not head first. Take 6 to land 1 or whatever. But I think it's an intriguing matchup just from a technical standpoint. I'm really looking forward to it. Even if the girl don't win it, I'm looking forward to it. And you can't sleep on the Matrix, man. The southpaw, big southpaw, and he's got decent power, not great power. But I have to root for Durrell to gut it out and take the belt back. And to me, in my opinion, it will go down as a great feat for a British guy to take that title from a big southpaw, tricky guy who no one really wants to fight like that. I think it will go down as a great British victory if he can pull it off. If he can pull it off.
Okay, let me ask you quickly, please. Brian Vasquez is going against Javier Fortuna. You know about them two? You know about?
I know Fortuna. I know Vasquez is a power puncher, isn't he?
He's not. He's alright. He got beat by the Japanese fighter, but he's alright.
I see Fortuna, and he was going along well, and I see him fight an Irish-looking fighter, and he looked a bit vulnerable in that fight to me, man.
Yeah, he did, man.
He looked kind of vulnerable, so I'm not sure if he's as good as he was touted as being. But when it comes, I'll be watching. I'll definitely be watching it.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that, B. Natty, go ahead, Natty.
Yeah, man. That's a hard fight to pick, man. That's definitely a hard fight to pick. Those guys are both highly skilled. You know what I mean? And they're boxers, but they're boxer punchers. They let their hands go. Especially Durrell. I'm kind of impressed with since he's come back. he's not as defensive as he used to be. He still has his defensive movements. He still moves around the ring. He still has good head movement. He's still extremely hard to hit, but he lets his hands go a whole lot more now. Like he's trying to take your head off, and I like that killer instinct that he came back with. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll help him in the fight with James DeGale. You know what I'm saying? Give DeGale a little bit more to think about. But DeGale is also powerful. DeGale has improved a whole lot, man. Since the Groves fight, he just knocked out Parabon. You know what I mean? It's a hard one. It's a hard one to pick, but I'm gonna go with the southpaw.
Okay.
By split decision.
Okay, cool. What about Javier Vitrino versus Brian Vasquez from Costa Rica?
I think Fortuna should win this, but he does look vulnerable defensively at times, man, and that could play a part in this fight. But he's the more talented fighter, and I think he should get the victory here.
Okay, cool. All right. Who else we got in the panel? Oh yeah, what you need? Unmute yourself. Would you think what you need? James DeGale, Andre Jarrell. Go ahead.
I think the Matrix will win. Jarrell has been very, very sharp. He's very, very, very sharp. His movements and everything extremely sharp. That's why I think he's making up all the lost time as far as I'm concerned. DeGale is a very, very, very good boxer, but I still don't know. I have question marks on him. So.
Okay. Javier Tune versus Brian Vasquez.
Can't say. I really don't know too much about those two super lightweight, junior lightweights. I don't know too much about them.
Okay, moving on. All right, J-Dos.
I got the Matrix winning. I don't think DeGale will control the range. I think it'll be a good skillsmanship fight, but I think because of Darrell's new approach, to let his hands go, he would get the cleaner, precise punches. I think he'll keep his range, and I think he will hurt DeGale a few times here and there. It'll be a telling story. So I have Darrell winning 8 rounds to 4 in this fight with unanimous decision, but it'll be highly competitive. In the other fight, I got Fortuna by knockout, 4th round, left hook.
Cool. All right. Go ahead, B. Yo, B. Hey, B, man, it's in Boston. I swear you're from Boston. Is it that Boston? Yeah, that's it. You gonna go watch that fight?
Maybe. I'm lazy though. I like watching them at my house. I like to sit in my house and watch these fights, man. I'm an old man. I'm lazy.
All right, man. All right, go ahead, Joey B. Break down the fight, bro.
But I have a different outlook on this fight than most. Let's look at Darrell. Very athletic, got some pop. Ambidextrous, could fight southpaw and orthodox. Not bad up close, not bad from a distance. Quick feet. Very disappointed in his career in a lot of areas because I think mentally, the mental aspect of his game sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. It's not always focused. Gets rattled in fights. Doesn't like pressure. When Froch made the fight ugly for him, he seemed to be getting frustrated. Arthur Abraham hit him after whatever when he was down. I didn't think he landed the punch really hard enough for him to not want to continue. He checked out of the Super 6, kind of, that was kind of a little bit, little shady there, the way he checked out of the Super 6, so I questioned that. So mentally, I kind of questioned Darrell. I don't think he's always focused. I don't think he's always hungry. I don't think he always has that killer instinct. I don't think he has that will and desire 100% all the time when he's in there. Whereas James DeGale seems like he's cool as a cucumber in there. Very polished fighter. Doesn't get rattled. Was in there with George Groves. I thought he fought a great fight against George Groves. Paraban, he took him out of there. He's a guy who doesn't really get stopped easily. So as of late, and again, Brendan Gonzalez, another good victory. So as of late, Durrell has just recently come back and started fighting after being inactive for a long period of time. Hasn't really fought anyone remotely close to the last couple guys that DeGale has fought. I think both guys are very athletically gifted. I think DeGale may possibly, in my opinion, hits harder than Durrell. Maybe a little bit sharper puncher as well. But Durrell is the matrix. I mean, he is quick, he is fast, he is very athletic, he is very highly skilled. But so is DeGale. And DeGale, is younger, maybe fresher, maybe because he hasn't had that layoff like Durrell has had. And I think he's, again, mentally focused and hungry and maybe has that edge in the mental aspect. He's probably stronger mentally than Durrell is, because I've seen Durrell kind of falter in fights mentally. So that's why I'm going to go with DeGale. I'm going to go with the UK guy, even though I'm the Yank. I'm going to pick the UK guy and go against the grain here and probably take a lot of heat from a lot of my American brethren here. But I'm gonna take DeGale. I think Barry Hearn is actually or Eddie Hearn, excuse me, is the promoter here, if I'm not mistaken. So that may have some effect on the outcome of this fight if it's close. So I'm gonna go with DeGale. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry.
Hearn lost the purse bid, so Heyman is in control. Yeah.
Who's promoting this fight? Do you know?
Well, I'm not sure who Heyman has doing it, but Heyman's team, he's trying not to be a promoter.
Yeah, someone told me earlier that Hearn was the promoter, so I don't know. I don't know.
Is it a PVC? Is it a PCV card? Is it?
Yeah.
That means they won the purse bid, so it's Al Heyman thing. It's Al Heyman.
It's an Al Heyman thing.
Al Heyman's not a promoter. I don't know. I don't know who's promoting. I was told I could be wrong. But regardless,
I think it's an American promoter. I'm not sure who's the promoter.
It's free TV, isn't it? Go ahead, Beats.
Yeah.
Everyone was expecting Eddie Hearn to win the bid, but like Durrell's people, they put up the bread. They put up the bread and the little shots,
Yeah.
They want this title.
Yeah. I'm still rolling with DeGale because of the mental thing, because of the mental aspect. Because both guys are talented. Both guys do have very high skill sets. Both guys are very athletic. Durrell has had the layoff, and he's come back against nondescript opposition, whereas DeGale has been active all along, fought in better guys, and I think he's mentally stronger, and I think he's more focused and relaxed in there, and I don't think Durrell is as relaxed as him, so I'm going with DeGale.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to open up in a bit here, open up for everyone, but first I'm going to say my little take on the thing. I tell you what, if Durrell comes in that fight how he fought Carl Froch, he's going to lose. I think James DeGale is going to attack Durrell. If Durrell moves the way he was fighting against Carl Froch, he'll lose the fight. I hope he doesn't try to fight that. I hope he comes here to try and fight James DeGale, because I think James DeGale won that. And what I want everyone to open up on, who thinks that when Carl Froch fought Durrell, that Carl Froch won the fight? Because I had Carl Froch winning the fight, but
I had Froch winning by a point, and and a lot of people disagree with me. But if you had Durrell winning, that's okay too. But I thought Durrell should have won that fight and could have won that fight, but he pissed it away.
Yeah, that's why I said anyone else can dispute that, because this is what it always gets contentious all the time we talk about it, and it's the same with the Lara and Canelo situation. Anyone could dispute it. Like, for me, Carl Froch won that fight, and for me, Canelo beat Lara. I don't care what anyone says. And I feel like
I think Lara won that fight, but again, I'm not going to argue it. You know what I mean? It depends on what you like.
Yeah,
I think Lara won, and I think Durrell won, and and both fighters who actually got the victory irritated the shit out of me for complaining about the way the fighter was moving. It's for you to cut off the ring. Stop complaining about how somebody else is fighting. You fight your fight and let somebody else fight their fight. And if you can't do anything to negate it, that's your freaking problem. You know what I'm saying?
But what pissed me off in the Durrell Froch fight was Durrell was jumping around, falling all over the ground, and he was crying to the ref every 3 seconds because he didn't like the way Froch was roughing him up. And Froch fought the way he had to fight to win that fight. And Froch is a rough and tumble type guy. So the same goes for that. Like, if a guy's roughing you up, then you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that too.
I agree with that. But roughing you up does not get you points in a boxing match. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like rough tactics doesn't score.
It doesn't. But if you look, you know, Froch was still landing some of them short, chippy shots on the inside. Busted up Darrell's mouth a little bit. I mean, Darrell was doing some great things. He actually hurt Froch, and he hurt him with a left hook. Yeah. I thought he could have stopped him at that point. But then he stopped, and then he just jumping around like this.
I would say this though. Darrell finished strong. Nobody can disagree with me on this. The 12th round was Darrell's round, and he stood in front of Froch and beat the shit out of him. Yeah. And I don't care what nobody says. That's the truth.
And you know what you see, and you know what bothered me? What you need? He could have been done that the whole fight, and he didn't do it because he spent half the freaking fight doing this bullshit up and around the ring. And he didn't have to do that shit. He was so much faster than Froch. He could have beat him to the punch every time, but he kept playing around and bullshitting. That's what pissed me off.
And the thing is, you're fighting Carl Froch in his hometown. So what I'm saying is that the reason why I'm trying to say, if Darrell does adopt that style against James DeGale, I know it's in America, your hometown, man. Like, guys are not a fact. Like, I don't like that. But if James DeGale will come straight for thing, I'm not trying to say he's just flat-footed come at him. He'll come with angles, flurries, tie him up and stuff like that. I still feel James DeGale's got to do. But James DeGale understands that he's fighting away. He's not in the UK, right? And even in the UK, sometimes he don't get decisions because obviously with the George Grove situation, he didn't get decision, even though I felt he won that fight, right? So he understands that everything's against him. So it's all about what Darrell turns up. And right now, you said, Joby, I agree with you. Mentally, is he in the right place? His brother's just lost, and his brother was talking all that jive against Buddy Jack, and that might be weighing on him. And another loss in that family might just destroy them. I don't know, man.
But
I want to say something else about the Froch fight, though, because I think people are getting this wrong. Andre Darrell didn't just make Froch miss. He made him pay. And whether you think those were pity-pat punches, those check hooks in the corner, those lead rights hit Froch. Froch was hurt in that fight. That's why he slowed down. That's why he was hurt in that fight. And if that's called running, then Floyd Mayweather is guilty of it as well.
I mean, he just refused to stand and bang with him. That's it.
I can't argue against anyone who thinks Darrell won that fight, but I think it was a close fight, and I only had Froch winning by a point. I think Darrell pissed away a lot of rounds that he could have easily won, and he made the fight harder than it had to be. He should have boxed circles around Froch. He didn't do that because he was bullshitting, in my opinion. And you know, it's his own fault. I mean, you gotta fight consistently throughout the whole course of the fight. You can't piss rounds away. But getting back to DeGale, one thing that I like about DeGale is he's not afraid to take it to guys. He's not afraid to step to his opponents. And, you know, if he hurts you, he'll finish you. Yep. Again, going back to that mental thing, I've seen Darrell hurt guys and not go in for the kill. Yeah. So there's something missing up here, and it can be a problem in this fight because, like EJ said, DeGale I think is gonna come in there with a purpose because he knows what he's up against. He knows he's going into that guy's backyard. He's not gonna go in there and bullshit like Darrell did when he went over to the UK. I mean,
I'll just say one thing to that. I'll say one thing and I'm done. Derek Edwards fought Andre Darrell very recently. Everybody watched that. Derek Edwards decided he was going to come to Darrell, and you saw what happened in that fight. So if DeGale chooses to do that,
that's what
I guarantee you.
But I'll tell you straight up, DeGale is strong and fast enough to probably get away with that. Derek Edwards is not. Yeah, he's not as gifted as DeGale, man.
And another thing, man, to Darrell's credit, he has not fought like he fought in the Froch fight in quite some time, at least over the last 4 fights.
We'll see what happens
when things like that in quite some time. He's
quite aggressive. When things get rough, because once things get rough, that's when the bullshit comes out.
And like he's looking more aggressive, but he hasn't fought anybody. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. When DeGale puts that shit on him, let's see what happens. He stops doing this bullshit hopping around the ring. Once DeGale steps to him, then we know that this hasn't been fixed yet.
Yeah.
You see, in the Froch fight with Darrell, you could have you could say maybe he could have scraped it, but you gotta look at it and be honest. If he had got that decision in Nottingham Arena, there would have been a riot, man.
There would have been a riot, bro. Yeah.
You see, the thing is, people say it's a robbery in the guy's hometown. It's not. If you let somebody win a fight like that in your hometown, you actually destroy the infrastructure of your own boxing scene in your country. You can't do that. You can't let someone come in there and scrape a fight, counter punch you. You can't do that.
Regardless of how you scored that fight, I hope we can at least agree on one thing. He left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth with the way he was bullshitting some of the rounds and
I disagree. I actually enjoy his style because I understand it's hit and not hit.
No, that fight.
So, I wouldn't agree with Erislandy Lara because Erislandy Lara didn't finish strong against Canelo. That's why I gave Canelo the fight. But in the case of Durrell, he not only confuffled Froch, confused him, but he beat the shit out of him. And if you guys who don't understand that, that's like Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia. Lamont Peterson confused Danny and beat the shit out. I'm just sorry that Lamont didn't get those early rounds. He didn't get those early rounds.
There was too many rounds.
He would have won that fight.
Durrell was just bullshitting, though. He wasn't doing anything.
He wasn't bullshitting at all. That's called boxing.
Froch manhandled him, man. And instead of fighting back, he was crying to the ref.
So Mauricio Herrera was bullshitting when he beat Danny Garcia? Come on, guys. He's boxing.
It's the
same thing, bro.
It's not about putting your face in somebody's face and giving them an advantage.
Durrell could have done more in that fight, man.
How do you mean Durrell could have done more? He boxed him.
Bullshit, man.
I'm watching that shit.
He spent half the fight crying to the referee. Come on, man.
Because the guys hit him low blows. He's grabbing his head. You're not supposed to do that. It's bending the Queensberry rules. If he wants to complain, he complains.
You got to man up, bro. You got to man up.
If you get an advantage, he gets an advantage.
You got to man up. You can't sit there and cry to the ref the whole fight like he was doing. And how many times
hit him a couple low blows yourself?
How many times did he roll around on the floor?
Get DQ for that.
How many times did he hit the mat? He hit the mat and roll around on the floor. Just like in the Abraham fight, the punch went like this and grazed him, and he lays on there like he's happy. Come on, man. Dude should be in Hollywood.
But man. Abraham also bends the Queensberry rules.
Abraham hit
the Queensberry rules
pretty hard, man.
Yeah, he hit him down. I saw that punch in replay. He hit him hard.
And he's weak. Stuff like that.
Yeah, he had a brain injury because of that, man.
Man, he's so.
Well, that must have been a real soft brain injury if he was back fighting in 6 months, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
Nah, man. He was out of the ring for at least a couple years.
Yeah,
50 Cent paid him some. Yeah, he was up. 50 Cent paid him some nice money.
He was out for a couple of years, man.
And then they had legal problems between SMS Promotions and somebody else, so he couldn't get back in the ring.
He was out for about a couple of years after that, Joe.
But Andre Durrell, you probably don't appreciate the skill involved in this guy, and he's very much a mentally tough guy because to get back into boxing after all of that, I mean. But again, this is just a matter of opinions. My opinion, I go with the skilled fighter, usually the slick skilled fighter. So maybe that's it.
After Abraham did that to him in March, he came back. He came back in December of 2011.
Well,
good for him, man.
How long was that, Joe B? How long was the gap then?
But then after that Daryl Cunningham fight, then he was out 2 years because that was something entirely different with the legal problems with SMS. But after the Arthur Abraham fight in March of 2010, okay, then he came back against Daryl Cunningham in December of 2011. So he's out.
So he took a whole year off.
You got a brain injury, man. You ain't coming back, man.
Yeah, that's it. So there wasn't no brain injury, man.
Jermaine Taylor came back and won a championship.
Jermaine Taylor was a different.
Jermaine Taylor was out for a long ass time. And you can see that he didn't last either.
He sure didn't last, but he came back with a bleeding brain.
You got a serious brain injury. You got a serious brain injury, dude. You retiring from the sport of boxing. You're not going to continue fighting.
You should. You should. Somebody need to go talk to Joe Messi.
Y'all want to believe that stuff? I'm not.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I agree with you. You should, but they don't always do that shit, do they?
And
Nobody
what you need, trust me, I love Andre Durrell, his skills. I don't like the bullshit up here, man. He needs to be more focused up here, bro. You gotta admit the dude doesn't stay focused in there, man.
I agree. All right, let me change the subject real quick. All right, so when you got the Nevada Athletic Commission is putting the putting the kibosh on anyone who takes drugs. Their first thing is like a 3-year and a 5-year. Then they're looking, and this is all the commissions in boxing. Joe B, you go first. What do you think about them real strict rules against people taking drugs? And if you get caught, there's 3 years. What do you think about that, bro?
I mean, anybody that gets suspended for smoking marijuana, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, I don't smoke, but again, I think that is not a friggin' big deal to me if someone smokes marijuana. A lot of my friends smoke marijuana. A lot of my ex-girlfriends smoke marijuana. I don't smoke. I don't care. Now, if someone's doing other shit, I mean, then it starts to get hairy. But I think people need to stop punishing people for smoking marijuana, first of all.
So what do you think? They're saying any drugs in your system, any drug they have on a list, you get caught 3 years. You think it's bullshit, or because of the I think
3 years is a long time, man. I think
this is. I was talking to Beats about it. I think this has come down mainly because of the MMA, and especially with Manny Pacquiao running up his mouth. I think this has come down and say, okay, you think we're soft, yeah? Well, this is what we're gonna do. But I guess it will be a deterrent to make anyone not.
No, is this recreational drugs or just PEDs?
No, everything. They're saying
anything on the list, and some of those are recreational drugs.
Yeah, anything, bro. They're getting hard.
You could go to GNC in the vitamin shop and stuff and buy stuff over the counter that'll probably get you failed in drug tests, man. Some of that shit.
That's right.
So
Dillian White. That happened to Dillian White.
The recreational drug argument. I'm just going to deal with marijuana. It doesn't hold up, really. Because if you're going to say that the PED enhances your performance, well, in muscular sclerosis and other ailments, they use marijuana to heal themselves. Like, you can use marijuana to actually to heal yourself. So
it's a painkiller. Marijuana is a painkiller.
Yeah, so it's gaining an advantage, isn't it? In a way, then.
True.
Again, I mean...
But then you're kind of slightly in a chill state, though.
Yeah, but if you have asthma, if you have asthma and you're taking an inhaler, are you cheating? You go to the doctor, he gives you a steroid to heal. Are you cheating? I mean, this whole thing with the steroids and stuff, like, you can't just take steroids and become Superman. They're basically healers, and some drugs are more potent than others, but I don't know, man. We're walking down a slippery slope. Yeah. We're gonna say that marijuana gives people an advantage in fights. I mean, marijuana basically calms you down and relaxes you. I mean, is that something you want? I'm sure no one's gonna smoke a joint right before they get in the ring. But if you're smoking a joint, just smoking a joint to get you to go to sleep at night, that's an entirely different thing, man. That's what a lot of people I know do.
One thing, I mean, athletes are not role models, but would you like your children to be smoking joints, trees, So I guess it's also an image thing.
I don't mind. I mean, but I'm a Rasta.
A lot of people don't care if their kids. A lot of people don't really care if they.
When they're of age.
It depends
when
how
they're
old
of age, right?
If they're 18 years old or 21 years old, whatever, and they smoke a joint, I'm not gonna fucking kill them. I'm not gonna go crazy on them.
I mean, I get what, but you think about the kids as well. Kids can still box. You can start at 5, at 4, whenever, but then you don't necessarily want them, necessarily doing that.
I mean, it's all up to the parents to teach the kids, man. I don't think athletes they could be looked upon as role models, but I don't think they're good role models. I want
you have a commission kind of governing them as well. You got to look at I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, I'm not saying you. I mean, if you believe that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I see it a different way. I mean, I just if I had kids, I would raise my kids to the best of my ability. I wouldn't put it upon the responsibility of an athlete to raise my kids for me. That's just the way I look at it.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
If an athlete or entertainer happens to be a good role model and that's a bonus. It shouldn't be a requirement of an athlete or entertainer to educate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's a governing body over these guys. So if the governing body now has to, that's the problem. It's not the athletes per se, but the body. What do they entertain? What do they say is, okay, it's cool to have these things, that's the problem.
I mean, you gotta teach your kids to, eat the fish and spit out the bones, man. Because when I was coming up, I listened to a lot of hip hop music. You know what I mean? And I took some jewels from KRS-One and Public Enemy and people like that. And I also listened to NWA, but I didn't do the shit that they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't influenced by that. You know what I mean? It was entertainment to me. But if they said something that resonated with me, it kind of influenced the way I thought and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But I knew right from wrong because my parents taught me that.
Yeah, and it's like when I was a kid, I used to watch like Superman, but I never thought I could jump off a building and fly. I mean, it's just you gotta teach your kids what's real and what's entertainment. You gotta be able to differentiate.
I sure damn tried though.
In the 50s with Superman, right? I didn't fly it first. Now you say that, yeah.
I used to try it
in America, and then
I used to try it, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I put a t-shirt around my neck.
I'm afraid of heights on the edge of the building.
Jumping out of windows.
Yeah,
and they banned him, and they stopped Superman from flying for a long time.
Yeah, because it's the same with wrestling. I used to do wrestling. I used to practice wrestling. I used to do power drivers with my brothers and everything. Until you realize the dangers, you could break people, kill people and shit, man. And I had to do figure 4 leg looks and everything, bro. But they say you shouldn't practice at home, so they are in a way serious. Like, look, man, Mike Tyson used to come on. I used to wake up as a little kid, well, not little kid, young guy, watching Mike Tyson knocking out dudes. I was trying to knock out dudes like Mike Tyson at school if they tried anything. So they are in a way a role model, and them taking any sort of drugs and stuff to get an advantage is thing. I think that the commission's gonna go the way like the Olympics. And that's the way, because if you look at these are athletes, they take all these proteges. They are sportsmen athletes. So I guess in a way, it needed to go this way because boxing is still like the wild west. You get me? So I guess they're reining down on certain things.
The bottom line is it's a losing fight. Any way you want to go with this argument, fighting against PEDs and just recreational drugs, it's a losing fight. It's never been a winnable war. It never will be. And that's pretty much it.
I agree.
Fair enough. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to bring up? Because I could talk about Amir Khan and Chris Algieri, but I ain't feeling that fight.
Do we have to talk about that?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. Go ahead, Gennady.
I want to mention a special fighter, man.
Go ahead.
Oh, he fell off, man.
He did that. The more this Algerian Khan fight is approaching, I'm more interested in it now. I don't know. I want to see how.
Try to talk me into being interested in the fight.
I don't know.
Help me out here.
I want to see how Khan approaches it. And like, can he do a cleaner job than Pacquiao? Or what do you call it? Stoppage maybe? I don't know. Can Chris Algieri improve? Is there room for improvement? Because I hear he's actually got a decent boxing trainer now.
Can I bring up one topic here and get you guys' opinion on this? Because I've been going crazy with people back and forth all day on Twitter about this, and I already know what you need's opinion is on this. So I mean, we just not gonna agree on this, and we can agree to disagree, and that's okay. Yeah. But I've been going crazy with people with this Triple G thing, and Triple G is 33 years old, and I don't think Cotto's gonna go near him. I think De La Hoya is going to stall Canelo from going there until they start to see Triple G get to be 37, 38 when he starts slowing down if he continues to fight. Triple G is a guy who's an offensive guy. His style requires a lot of physical exertion, so the older he gets, you know, he could wear down. So I just don't see any of these guys. Possibly the Endom Lemieux winner may fight him, but other than that, I don't think any of these other guys are going to go near him. So it's going to be
Andy Lee may.
Again, I still question that as well. It doesn't. I mean, you could be right. I hope. I mean, I wouldn't mind that fight. But what I'm saying is, because all these guys are avoiding him, because it's going to take a long time to even get any of these middleweights in the ring with him, that's why I'm really not opposed to him going to fight Ward, because I still love that matchup. I know a lot of people think that it's not necessary. A lot of people aren't really crazy about that matchup. But, I mean, you guys see a viable opponent. You already asked me this, EJ, but do you think, I mean, you could see a viable opponent, but do you think any of these guys are going to step up and fight Triple G in the near future? And, you know, do you think that the Ward fight makes the most sense? Because I think HBO would pony up a lot of cash to make that fight happen and make it worth both fighters' while. You know what I mean?
I think if they do that, they know they're going to lose Triple G. I don't think they want to put that fight. I think they like the buzz and they like Triple G beating over these. I think they know if they put Ward in there, Ward is going to do him. I think they know Ward is going to do him.
But you think Ward blows him out? You think Ward is down?
Yeah, I think Ward blows him out, man.
I don't think Ward would blow him out. I think it would be a mildly competitive fight. And Ward's been off for a while. I mean, at this point in time, I think it's a good time for Triple G to let Ward have his tune-up and then jump on him. I mean,
you know why I say that? You see Arthur Abraham, yeah? You see when I look at Triple G, I see him like Arthur Abraham, but Arthur Abraham probably hits, I don't know, maybe it's harder. Maybe. I see him the same. I mean, he's got more different arsenal. But I see him the same, and I see, look what Ward did to him. Like, I just see him like this getting eaten.
But isn't
yeah, I think Ward has the style to neutralize Triple G, whatever Triple G does well.
And that's why I don't think if you're HBO, you're like, nah, we didn't want that fight. We enjoy.
Yeah, see, I think it's.
And then people gonna say it's boring too. People gonna say the shit is boring.
I think it's a good fight, and I think Triple G can push Ward, man. I think he give him a tough fight. I really do.
I say put him in with Darrell again. They met in the Olympics. Let them meet again.
And I keep on saying Darrell won that fight, but hey, I'm alone. I know.
That'll be a good matchup, especially if Darrell beats DeGale.
Yeah. So nobody really wants to see the Ward Golovkin match.
You know, I want to see it.
I want to see it, but I
just don't think he's ready.
HBO will push it right now.
I don't think they're gonna do it though, Joe.
Let that happen right now.
So what you need? You think Ward is just
the level of competition Triple G has fought is not on the level of an Andre Ward.
Yeah, it hasn't prepared
levels to this game.
So you don't think he's prepared? You don't think he's prepared to fight Ward yet?
No. Let him move up a little bit.
So you think he should fight? You think he should fight somebody at 168 first, or maybe one or two?
Yes.
Listen. I like Andre Ward. If he fights Triple G, it's a life and death. He might be favorite. He ain't washing over no Triple G like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's a tough fight.
Hey, I disagree, but
again, I could be wrong, but I just think that, you know, Triple G is a very sharp, accurate puncher. He's a guy that varies up his offense. I just think that.
But he doesn't fight going backwards. That's the problem.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, he slides back, resets, and jumps back in, man. I don't know, man. I think
off the front foot.
He doesn't want to fight backwards. He doesn't want to do that.
Guess what?
What happened to when he's forced to do it, though? He don't want to do a lot of things.
Well, to be honest with you, we never really seen him back up in the fight.
Listen. When he goes back,
seen anyone back him up and push him to that limit. So let's find out.
If you want him to go backwards, you've got to actually put him on his back. He ain't going. He's not voluntarily going back.
Turn him.
That's not something.
I don't think I think this guy Triple G's no joke, man. I really believe that.
I think you guys are believing the hype like Pacquiao.
No, it's not a matter of hype.
No, he's good. He's very good. Very good. Don't get me
I
wrong.
already fell for the hype. I don't want to believe the
But I'm
hype.
just telling you his weakness.
Listen, man. Look. It's not
We
that.
don't know yet, though. We don't know yet because we never seen him. We never
He's the
seen
real
him.
deal in the middleweight division. He's the real deal. But at 168,
I've got Wood winning the fight, yeah? But here's the facts, yeah? Here's the facts. This guy is a really good... He hasn't lost for years and years. He is good. And look, people, in my opinion, I agree with Beef, and I've been saying it before, Beef, so it's not like I'm jumping on this thing. Monroe didn't do well in the fight. Stop saying that. He didn't do well. He was a world championship. He threw a couple of punches. It's kind of like people... I tell you what, world championship boxing has been devalued so bad. People tell me Brian Jennings did well against Klitschko. No, he didn't. No, he did not.
Thank you.
He didn't do well.
That's
And
correct.
here's the good thing. He didn't do well.
No, he didn't. I
He
agree.
didn't do well.
And the over-under was 5.5 rounds yesterday, man. And if you bet that under, you hit it, man. You hit it.
He landed a couple of punches and he's done well. No, and in the end he quit.
Nah. You know what it is, though? I gotta say, Monroe fought very valiantly. You know what I mean? He tried. You could see he didn't fight like someone that just went in there for a payday. So I think people are really jumping on that, and it's just like this. Sometimes you get rewarded for doing better than what people thought you were gonna do. That's what's happening with Monroe. That's what's happening with Monroe. And Monroe's a likable guy, man. He could probably still beat a lot of guys, but he's just like what you need said. There is levels to this, and
Oh, yeah.
that was
You can't win a boxino and think you can beat the number one pound for pound.
Right. Listen, he lost to Darnell Boone. If he lost by knockout, you could say, oh, okay, yeah, you got caught. No, he lost on points. When you lose on points,
he lost a split decision, yeah.
right?
But that fight is not up, and a lot of people say it was controversial.
So lucky when you lose on points, and I hear from what I hear, Boone generally won. I didn't see it. Yeah.
I heard it was controversial, and it was a split decision.
Even so, right? Right? You know, that guy's a journeyman. Yeah, a top class journeyman, and how he's made his name is by nearly knocking people out. Not nearly outpointing them. Not outpointing them. He shouldn't man.
By dropping Kovalev, Andre Ward, and knocking out Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah, that is a lineup.
Yeah, that was pretty big, though.
That is a lineup.
That's pretty big. It's pretty big.
I'll tell you one thing. Darnell Boone's probably the best journeyman in boxing.
That fanatic. You slip up on that guy, he's gonna get you.
Emmanuel Augustus.
The other week.
He sounded like Williams.
Yeah, Emmanuel Augustus people in there, man. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep on that guy.
There's Randy Smith. He was really good. He actually beat another prospect the other month, actually, Darnell Boone. So,
Yeah, he's. I mean, no, you look, man. It'd be interesting, but like to Joe be
A lot of short notice fights. You know what I mean? You can't sleep on the guy, man.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that fight happens with Triple G because we want him to fight. Because Canelo, I think he washes Canelo. I think he washes Canelo.
No, I disagree.
I think he washes Lara. I've got him beating Lara easy as well.
No.
Them guys, Lara's
No.
Lara, man. He gonna watch Lara.
You're talking about elite competition, man. This is elite competition.
Lara ain't that good, man. Lara's just gonna run around the ring, man. Like
That's true. But you're not gonna catch him.
If he watches Lara, why is he so opposed to fighting him? Why would you fight?
That's elite competition.
You fight Lara. That's a no-win situation. That's a no-win situation when you fight Lara. Because he's gonna make you look bad. He's gonna make you look bad.
He's an elite competitor. This guy is very good at what he does. Canelo is also elite competition.
And if he's such an easy opponent, fight him. He's calling you out like on several occasions.
And he's 154. He's a smaller guy.
Work up out of here.
Lara called that Canelo. What did he do? He ran and stuck the place up, man. Come on.
And he won
nothing.
the fight.
Catch him.
Win the fight. Win the
You
fight.
gotta catch him.
What you
The thing
need?
with Lara is to catch him.
What you need? How'd you score the Canelo Lara?
Canelo
fight?
won 7-5.
You had Canelo winning?
Absolutely.
I'm surprised, man. I thought you would have had Lara win.
Lara won the first. He won the first 4 rounds.
I had Lara winning that fight. How'd you score that fight, Natty?
I'm about to look it up right now. I'll tell you in a second.
Lara won the first 4 rounds. It turned in the 4th round Canelo started tagging him to the body. Yes, he did catch some of the shots, but the shots were hurting him. He
You know
slipped
what
in the 8th.
You know what made that fight turn, in my opinion? When Lara got hit.
116, 112.
Yeah.
You heard me, B?
I'm sorry, man. What'd you say?
116, 112, Lara.
That's what I had it. That's what I had it.
Yeah, they 8-4.
Lara won that fight, man.
My man, I had it 8-4 Lara.
I don't understand that.
I'm surprised what you did. You didn't go with Lara, man. That's your type of stuff.
Lara's good at moving, but he's not good at changing levels. He's not good at the certain kinds of pivots.
He's not good at changing the pace. He's not good at changing the pace of the fight. He only fights.
Right, and also he doesn't make you pay. He doesn't make you miss and pay. He doesn't come back on you. So
you don't always counter. He'll just make you miss, and he'll be happy with that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Man, I don't know, man. I reckon there should be a rule change in boxing. I think certain fights shouldn't go down as wins. You know, I think fights like Canelo,
get rid of the 10-point must system and just go by the damage system, huh?
Yeah. Canelo and Lara should have been a. They should be like, look,
a draw.
Garcia Peterson rematch. Canelo Lara rematch. Now there's lots more examples. Rematch.
I agree.
I thought Peterson clearly won that Garcia fight. I was.
He did more damage.
But
I think Garcia won that as well.
He did more damage, but he did the damage.
Garcia beat Peterson too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Wow. It's going against
Garcia got those early rounds, man. He got him.
I don't know, man. I scored at 7-5 to Peterson, man. I know Natty had
the other way.
Natty, you have Peterson beating Garcia?
I had Garcia this time, man.
Okay.
I think he gave up them early rounds myself.
Yeah.
I think he gave up them early rounds. He was looking beautiful. He was moving beautifully in there, but he wasn't making him pay. Wasn't making Garcia pay.
Second time I watched it was even. I had it even.
So everybody had Garcia.
But he sure did beat up Garcia in the end, though.
I had Garcia in the fight, man. I had Garcia in the wash. I had Garcia beating him. Like,
I'm the only one that had Peterson winning. Okay.
Yeah.
He did some good work on that Garcia.
His ass.
He would have stopped him.
This is what I'm saying, though. Like, I don't.
He would have stopped him.
The winner of these fights like that. You know what I mean? Like, with like there should be some clause or. You know, look.
A rematch or something, yeah.
Well,
then
a rematch.
you're gonna have to change the scoring.
Sorry, Natty, right? How they should do it, right? Them fights should be registered as no win, and then when someone win it decisively, you know, in 2, and then it should be like, because they do it in other sports, it should be aggregates. So that's from aggregate matches. Because I think a lot of guys are walking around, I beat the guy. No, you didn't. You didn't beat the guy. It was decisive.
You won, but you didn't beat him.
You're gonna have to. That's what we're gonna have to come to a consensus there where we change the whole scoring system. If we're gonna do it like that.
You know what they should do?
Just give a rematch. Just rematch.
You know what they should do in fights?
Rematch.
In fights where it's draw, they should add another round. Like, put another round. Or just make it go.
Or like Boxino.
Well, just put another round in, or just do a 15-rounder. Because I guarantee in a 15-rounder,
somebody's gonna go down.
Yeah, you'll get a conclusive winner. Let me change the topic real quick though. So Mayweather, apparently Mayweather will be fighting Victor Ortiz in a rematch, y'all. I like that. What? Yeah. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, right.
Hell no.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That's what I heard, man.
I don't believe that shit.
That's a good fight right there. That's a good fight.
Fuck that fight, man.
I like that fight, man. Because you know why? Yeah, it's a fight where Victor Ortiz thought he won, and he got hit. He got hit after the thing, and you know what? He can pad his record a bit, man. Why you have to go in there? People want to watch that fight. I want to watch that fight. What you guys think about it?
I prefer Amir Khan over Victor Ortiz. No way.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I can't stand that dude, man.
You guys gonna pay $100 for that, right?
No, absolutely not.
I'll watch it. His last fight, he might just want an easy one to ride out with a 49. I'll watch it, but I ain't paying.
You better put it on Premier Championship Boxing.
No,
Louis Canazzo didn't knock out that guy.
Yes, he did.
Well, why would I want to see Floyd knock him out for knockout's sake? I mean,
I'm trolling. I'm trolling right now. I'm trolling, but I heard it. It's not. But you know what? I don't mind him fighting. I don't mind him fighting Victor Ortiz. I don't mind him. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
No.
Hey, what's his name?
I'm not watching that.
EJ, stop playing. EJ, stop playing, man. Stop playing.
Like everyone's eyes popped out. All right. So everyone go through. Beats go, then Vit, and then Joe, and then Natty, and then what you need. All right. So Beats, who would you like Floyd to fight next in his next fight?
I'd like to see Keith Thurman get a shot, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Keith Thurman.
Cool. All right, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
I think that Keith Thurman would be a great fight, in terms of just being an intriguing matchup. But I mean, I wouldn't get really upset if he fought someone like a Danny Garcia, man, because he deserves a break. I think he's done a lot, and but I think Keith Thurman would be a great fight.
All right, cool. Natty.
I want to see him fight Vladimir Klitschko. No. No, you know my dude, man. I want him to fight Erislandy Lara. That's the matchup I've been wanting to see for a long time.
That's a good fight too, man.
I would love to see that chess match.
Shit. All right, go ahead, Nat. What you need?
Same thing like Beats and Rhymes. Keith Thurman's my choice. Kell Brooks sells himself out with this. I don't know what that fight is, and Amir Khan's fighting Chris Algieri. I'm not interested. So Keith Thurman's the only guy left.
I agree with Joe B, man. I want to see Danny Garcia, and just because of Angel Garcia, because I don't know what they did it with the PBC card where Angel's mouth was muted. Hopefully his mouth will be unchained. I'd love to see him.
Swear on BBC, bro. You can't swear there. You can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So on the pay-per-view card, Angel and Floyd Senior will sell that fight. They'll be talking so much jive. Yeah, that would be good, interesting. And Danny's gonna come and fight. I think they will talk that fight up into something. And I think that'll be a good fight. Whether it be competitive is another thing, because Danny looks like he has trouble against guys who move well, man. He has trouble against guys who move well, but he'll come and he's undefeated. He'll try his best, but I'd like to see that fight for Floyd next. That's a good, solid win for Floyd. And if Danny could, I don't know if Danny could land one of his big hooks, man. Who knows, man? But I'd like to see that fight for Floyd in thing. And all right, let me go around and talk about Manny Pacquiao. I'll go first. I like Manny Pacquiao to fight Triple G next, right? And I don't care what anyone says. He's fought at 154, right? He fought Margarita at 154, so everyone's shaking their head, right? So I think Pacquiao, before he fights against Floyd, I think to say Manny Pacquiao versus Triple G. All right, what you need?
At a catch weight of 150.
All right, go ahead. All right, what you need? Who do you like Pacquiao to fight next then?
If you're going to fight Triple G, he has to fight him at a catch weight of 150 or at welterweight.
Who would you like Pacquiao to fight?
Okay.
Oh,
and I'll watch that fight. I'll watch it.
You look like a skeleton in there.
Exactly. Who would you like Pacquiao?
Exactly. Why not?
Come on, what you need? Who would like Pacquiao to fight next?
I would love to see Pacquiao fight Zab Judah. That would have been a matchup that never happened. So that would be a great matchup. Zab, he actually studied Zab to fight Floyd. So I'm thinking, why not? Fight Zab, and Zab's there. That's a good fight.
You think Zab could? You think
two southpaws.
You think Zab could win?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Natty, go ahead, Natty.
I like the Zab Judah fight, but I think I would like to see him go down to 140.
At 140, by the way.
Who'd you? Yeah, against who?
I like the Adrian Broner fight.
Manny Pacquiao against Adrian Broner. That'd be interesting.
That's an interesting fight.
Or even the Danny Garcia fight with Pacquiao. That'd be a good fight.
How about Terrence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao?
Oh, yeah.
We're going through that.
That's easy to make.
Hey, that's the one I heard they're going to make,
That's easy to make.
I heard they're going to make. I heard they're actually looking to make that fight, actually.
I don't know.
I think that fight will go.
Is that too soon for Terrence? Can Terrence win that, or is it too soon?
Oh, he's too. I don't like. That's.
I think he's catching Manny at the right time.
I think that's a dynasty time for Manny, though.
I think he'll knock Pacquiao out.
That's the problem. I don't want to really see
Pacquiao out.
That's a good.
I don't want to see Pacquiao get hurt like that.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll knock Pacquiao out.
Crawford's a tricky guy, man, and
he's catching Pacquiao at the right time.
Listen, I love having these discussions, man. I like to hear people's input.
Yeah, I like that fight there, but I think in our box, I think that'd be a good win for either one. I don't think you'd lose any credit with either one who comes out the win. I think
they can't put him in there with Terrence Crawford. They
That's what
Crawford already saw the blueprint how to beat him off of Mayweather. That's not a good thing. Crawford's a thinking guy.
Terrence Crawford is beating him up. Once Terrence has studied him already, man.
That's not good.
He's beating him. He's gonna beat him up, man. See, once again, Terrence is the guy. Like he appreciates the range against. See, a lot of people, Pacquiao's fast. Terrence ain't worrying about that. Gamboa was fast. Gamboa is like Pacquiao. He's beating him up, man. He's beating him up.
And Terrence comes into the ring.
He'll have a better shot against Broner.
Terrence comes in.
Much harder than Thing, bro.
No, Crawford comes in the ring 159, 153, man. He's a big dude. He's like
Margarito comes in bigger than that, man. Come on, man.
You gonna compare Crawford to Margarito? Come on, dude.
I'm talking about the weight, man. I'm talking about bigger guys, man. That's what I'm saying.
Pacquiao versus Kell Brook, I'd give him.
No, man.
Yeah. Go ahead. No. This is what I'm saying. That's Them is the. Go ahead, B. That's a nice one. I like that one. Go ahead, B.
I think Kell Brook beats him.
Nah, I think Kell Brook beats him right now as well. I think that's a good fight as well. Joe Pete and I like them two fights, man. I like them fights. Even I like the fights you guys just brought up there with Pacquiao. And I think these are all viable fights for Pacquiao to come back. But I'm telling you.
But they're big, fast, smart, intelligent dudes. These are not, and they're elite fighters. Pacquiao's just coming off of a surgery injury. You need to give somebody.
Which guys is big? Which guys is big?
Kell Brook's massive, man. He's a massive welterweight.
What division?
Thurman, Kell Brook.
Can I be honest with you? I think, and this is going to sound bad to a lot of people. It sounds blasphemous. Right. But I think a lot of guys can beat Pacquiao at welterweight right now. Keith Thurman, Amir Khan.
Big, strong guys, man.
I heard Keith Thurman actually say that, Joe.
I don't think Amir Khan can beat him.
And they're big and strong.
Say again, Gennady?
I heard Keith Thurman actually say what you just said, man, in an interview. Like a lot of other welterweights, not just Floyd, a lot of other welterweights beat Pacquiao right now as well.
And you know what the problem is with Pacquiao's style is when you get older, you can't fight that same way and be effective, man. You stop if your style relies on a lot of physical exertion, a lot of leg movement.
Yep.
Those are the first things that go when you get older. You're not going to be as effective. He's at that crossroads right now. He's 36 years old, man. He'll be 37 soon. Yep. The window is at that point right now where it's closing. He should stay away from these guys. He can get hurt, man.
Yep. I agree.
And also, I think people figured out his style. A lot of people have figured out his style.
Man. He's a pattern.
So that's another
pattern fighter.
Let me put this to you. This is the first fight with Pacquiao he hasn't drained no one. So this is the first time where Pacquiao was forced to come out, under 147. Before, he'd be draining guys and giving them at catch weight. So Pacquiao's been catch weight all the while. So if he comes in at a normal weight, then the other guys get involved. But if you fight Pacquiao, because he's the A side, he's been draining the guys. So all the guys you mentioned, he'll make, Freddie will make them come in at a weight where they're not comfortable at.
Well, if it's at 147, I don't think there'd be a catch weight.
Pacquiao even fought at 147. He's never. He be fighting that bloody against Tim Bradley. They came in like 144, 143. They were never on that weight. But Floyd made sure that when he came in white night, this guy was going to be on the weight thing. And also with the dude taking injections before the fight, he wasn't allowed to do his normal routine. And ain't nothing wrong with his shoulder. What you need? This guy's a liar, man. This guy's a liar about his shoulder. You buying into that shoulder thing, man. There ain't nothing wrong with his shoulder, man. He's full of shit, man.
I mean, something was wrong with that shoulder, but it's not nowhere near that.
That's the personality out of this thing, we know.
You see Paulie.
But something was wrong with his shoulder.
You all see Paulie. Paulie's nose been injured. Paulie's been injured. His hands, everything. Paulie knows he's injured. That guy, the way that guy was swinging them punches, ain't nothing wrong with his bloody shoulder.
And you know what? I noticed, man, in this fight, Pacquiao threw more right hands than I've ever seen him throw.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with his shoulder.
In my humble opinion, he was more active with the right hand than he's ever been.
He had to use the jab. That's why.
He couldn't hit Mayweather with a bag of rice. Is what the problem is, and that's why he done his shoulder. That's what it is, man. I just told the truth.
You know who else he could fight? Jesse Vargas. That's a good matchup.
That's a great fight for Pacquiao, man. That's a great fight.
Jesse Vargas wants that fight, but he's tied up with Tim Bradley now. I think that's official.
Tim Bradley should
But
win.
that's done. That's done, but I'm saying after Bradley. After Bradley.
Yeah. Tim Bradley's gonna walk through Vargas, man. He'll probably walk right through Vargas.
No.
Tim Bradley hasn't been the same lately, though, man. He hasn't been looking good.
Man, I think he lost that fight to freaking what's his name?
Chavez.
What you think?
The Argentinian dude, man, Diego Chavez. I think he lost that fight, man.
Diego Chavez put it on him, man. He put it on him a little
Chavez
bit.
can fight.
I was like,
Chavez can fight.
draw? I don't know about no draw. You lucky you got a draw, son.
Tim Bradley lucky he can fight Keith Thurman, though. I'll tell you what, because Keith
Oh,
Thurman,
we're messing him up.
it's harder than Chavez. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thurman would have knocked Bradley out.
yeah, I think he would. Bradley's the little dude, man. He's a tough little guy, though. But
I mean, he should have stayed his ass at 140, man.
yeah, he should have fought Amir Khan at 140. Amir Khan would fight.
Amir Khan was offering to do a 50-50 split.
Yeah, and he said, nah, we want to fight the Pacquiao fight.
If he
But he
stayed at
got
140,
But who did he got Pacquiao eventually, but he fought Casamayor.
if he stayed at 140, he would have never got the Pacquiao fight. He had to.
The Pacquiao fight wasn't worth it anyway, because look, when he beat Pacquiao, he didn't get no credit.
He didn't get
No,
any credit for it.
forget the credit. It's the money. Look at the money he got.
Yeah, but
I guess.
when I was talking to 78 in that year, this drama that they're posting to his house, it wasn't worth it. He should have just fought Amir Khan, and then just gradually went up to fight.
When his pension fund's being counted in 10 years' time, let's see if it's not worth it.
I don't know if he could spend his money, the punches he did in his last fight.
And I tell you this, if he doesn't fight that Pacquiao fight and get the win, he doesn't fight and the backlash from it. He doesn't fight Provodnikov the way he fought Provodnikov.
That was some bullshit. That was because bullshit.
He would not fight Provodnikov in that way.
Yeah, but that fight, yeah, that was some bullshit. Look at that, causing concussion and shit. See, that's the way not to fight in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he only fought that way to get people's approval. It was dumb. It was dumb to.
That's my problem with Tim Bradley.
But you know what, Natty? He kind of did that a little bit in the Provodnikov fight. He did it in the Pacquiao second fight.
Sure
He
did.
did it in the Chavez fight. So I think mentally, again, he's one of them guys that can't put it together mentally. If you're fighting off adrenaline, which you do fight off adrenaline, but if you can't control that adrenaline,
Yeah, you gotta be controlled.
He makes poor decisions. He does.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. He's fighting too much with his emotions instead of fighting with his brain, and that's not a good, because the dude can box his ass off, but he just gets he gets in those modes where he wants to just. And you know what the worst thing happened in that Pacquiao fight, the second one? When he hit Pacquiao with that right hand, he rocked him on his heel. That was a good-ass punch in that fight.
Yeah,
that messed him up.
Because that right then and there, he got that false sense, I'm going to knock this dude out. And that fucked him off, man.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you are not G with the power, fam. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
He turned Superman in that fight.
Yeah.
He's had a good career.
You know what? I'm one of the only ones on YouTube. There's a few of us on YouTube that think Tim Bradley won that first fight. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that too.
I think he won the first fight too.
He won the fight.
Crucified every time I say it.
But there's a
He
lot
won
of
the middle rounds and the end.
There's a lot of people here.
You know what I want to hear? I want to hear both of you individually break down how he won the fight.
Sure.
I mean, it's been a long
Round 6 and 8 was Bradley. 10 and 12 was Bradley.
One at a time. Which two people? Beats.
Anyone. Anyone who thinks Bradley won. But
Bradley won the fight.
Start with a B. I don't think he won it. Start with a B. How did Bradley win that fight?
Go ahead, B.
Talking to me?
Go to Natty.
I thought Bradley landed a lot of jabs and a lot of body punches in that fight that he did not get credit for. I thought Pacquiao, a lot of the shots that people were saying were landing, they didn't land flush. I thought Bradley rolled a lot of shots, got down low and ducked up underneath a lot of shots. I thought Bradley was the more active fighter. I thought he landed the more punches, and I thought Pacquiao fought a very uninspired, listless fight where he didn't throw a lot of punches. And I think Pacquiao has gotten into a habit these last couple fights of really not putting out a lot of output, not being that volume guy that supposedly he is. And I think he takes a lot of time off in these rounds. And I don't think he's really doing what. See, people see him like in spurts go like this, and all of a sudden the crowd goes crazy, the judges go crazy, but half that shit's not landing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you go like this and it looks pretty and shit, you're basically shadow boxing in the ring. You ain't landing shit. And that's what I thought happened. And Bradley, little by little, was landing them little chippy shots, picking and shooting, nipping away, hitting them little body shots, landing them little short little hooks. And I thought that he won that fight.
And he was relentless too. He was relentless with the pressure, and he came on strong in the final rounds. He finished strong. You know, Pacquiao finished strong in the second fight, and he finished strong in the first. That's why I think Pacquiao won the second.
I concur. I had the fight score 115 to 113, and you
can
tell
7-5. Me too.
You can tell the fight was going downhill when Bradley completely outworked Pacquiao in the first round, right? And then right at the very end, Pacquiao lands a couple of little shots. And then they say, "Oh, that stole the round from Pacquiao." How are you gonna?
He yelled out straight left hand by Pacquiao.
The first one missed. The first one missed, and the second one grazed the top of his head. And Harold Letterman busted a nut, man. He busted.
Oh, that won the round for Pacquiao. Yes, you know what I'm saying. How are you gonna negate 2 minutes and 45 seconds worth of work? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
Harold Letterman always does that shit. A guy will win the first 2 minutes and 59 seconds of the round, and then in that last second, a guy will land a punch, and Harold Letterman will give that motherfucker the round. That's such bullshit. Man.
Especially if it's a powerful punch, though. But
and to me, Bradley just won more rounds. He outworked Pacquiao in more rounds. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Pacquiao was left to be kind of ineffective because of the movement that Bradley was showing him, and it's crazy to me that Bradley was slipping him so much and moving around so much when he was on two bad legs. You know what I'm saying? But it's anybody who gives Pacquiao movement, his punch output goes down considerably.
Especially if you move to his right. If you pivot to his right,
becomes very inactive, and you can outwork Pacquiao, and that's what happened. Now, did Bradley's rounds look as flashy as Pacquiao's rounds did?
He don't have the power like Pacquiao. He's not as strong.
No, it didn't. But that doesn't say that he didn't win more rounds than Pacquiao. The ones Pacquiao lost, he lost clearly. You know what I'm saying? And the ones he won clearly. But he was only allowed to win 5 rounds of a 12-round fight. And you can't win a fight based on 5 good rounds.
How did you guys score the second fight? Even the second fight was
it's very close.
I scored it the same way. I scored it the same way.
Pacquiao won that though.
I wouldn't say that Bradley was robbed in that second fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, like how a lot of people saying that Pacquiao was robbed. I wouldn't say Bradley was robbed. It was one of them fights that some of them rounds could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of edged to Bradley. 13 Bradley to me, but I could go with Pacquiao as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of fight the second fight was.
I had the second fight a draw. I'm not gonna lie. It could have been. I thought it was close.
I thought that Pacquiao changed the whole momentum of the fight in the 7th round onwards.
He did.
Let me tell you, I think I still have that one on.
I thought he beat Bradley. I looked at it a number of times, but I thought he beat him.
Yeah.
I told the Bradley straight after the fight, man. Bradley he thought he lost the fight. He said he wasn't even trying to box him. He said he was trying to knock you out. I was talking to him. He said he was just trying to knock him out. He agreed he lost the fight.
I think Bradley didn't want to get the decision in the second fight because he didn't want to get freaking attacked by the public.
Right. And Bradley was a close fight. Bradley was a gracious. If he lost, he lost. He's a gracious dude at the end of fights. He's not gonna, sit there and complain. Not from what I've seen of him. You know what I'm saying?
But them Pactars are vicious, bro. They were coming after him.
And when you're in a fight, especially if it's a close fight, there's no way you could tell me that you know if you win or not in a close fight. You know what I'm saying? If it's a lopsided fight, if you know you're getting somebody's ass. Go ahead, B.
I'm saying the dude was getting death threats after the first fight.
Yeah.
And I actually have his phone number. I have his wife's phone number.
Yeah,
And I used to get him on the show, like when I was with the Boxing Voice and stuff. I used to get interviews and stuff. And after that fight, she wasn't returning any of my texts. They was just getting smashed. You know what I'm saying? So they was in a bad place. So I think he wanted to lose to make all that go away. Because if he got the decision again, all them dudes was gonna come at him again with the shit. And
So you just gotta make it clear. If I'm winning, I'm winning it clear. If I'm losing, I'm losing clear.
You know what he said? You know what he said? He said, I didn't want to win a decision. I wanted to knock him out. That way it was decisive and no one could say anything to me.
Yeah.
If I got another decision, they would have done the same shit to me again.
Same shit.
Yeah, but look what happened to him after. After he lost the fight, now he put on weight. He ain't performing as well. So it had a residual effect on him anyway. He might as well.
Yeah, it did. You know, you're right, EJ. I don't think he's ever fully recovered from the whole ordeal.
No, this is what I'm trying to say. He should have stayed in his course and stayed at 140 and just done because he's got.
Eventually got up to welterweight.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a Hall of Fame. Well, not really Hall of Fame. He's got one of the best resumes in boxing.
He does for a young fighter.
Because he's Aram, he's been disrespected. Just you know what I mean? Putting in there against these dudes. But that's the choice of thing that happens in boxing.
But he's getting good money now, though.
Yeah.
He's got a guaranteed minimum, man. But
he don't look happy, man. Beats. So you put the question out. So Beats, how many rounds did you give Bradley in the first? How many rounds did you give Pacquiao in the fight? You said you had Pacquiao winning.
It was close. It was close. No, it wasn't no runaway thing. Yeah. I can't remember how I scored it, but I had Pacquiao winning.
Okay.
Yeah. And what really annoys me is the people that say Pacquiao beat his ass. How could you?
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
Pacquiao killed him.
Pacquiao using them in there.
Come on, man.
So my nerves.
That was ridiculous.
They're the same people saying Mayweather fought a guy at one arm, but yet they're saying Pacquiao won the fight. I goes to them, okay, so you're saying he fought at one arm. Yeah, he fought at one arm. Pacquiao, okay. But you're saying he won the fight. Yeah, he won the fight. So if he fought one arm, how did he win the fight? And then they all say nothing. Like, they didn't say nothing. Like, they don't even say anything. Like,
they also the same people that say that Pacquiao beat the #2 welterweight in the world, but really don't believe that he won the fight. You can't have it both ways.
Nope. That's what I'm talking about. Some of the casuals.
The only way he's the #2 welterweight in the world is by beating Pacquiao. But if you don't believe he's beating Pacquiao, he's not the #2 welterweight in the world.
None of the people saying that Mayweather fight stunk up the place is the people who Pacquiao fight. You talk to a Mayweather guy, or not really a Mayweather guy, or a guy who supported Mayweather, and Mayweather won. They ain't disrespecting boxing. It's only the people who had Pacquiao losing the fight. They're saying, "Oh, boxing's the worst thing ever. It was a shaft, this and that," because they thought Pacquiao was gonna knock out Mayweather. If he knocked out Mayweather, it would have been the best showing ever. It never happened. Or they say at least Mayweather knocked him out. But I don't know why people are complaining. Mayweather just shut the guy out completely, and now you got this guy, these videos coming out. If you watch it in slow motion, Pacquiao won the fight.
That's the funniest thing.
That's the funniest thing.
You know what you should do? You should watch it backwards.
Yeah.
Watch it in reverse. What the fuck, man?
Oh man, you might hear the devil if you watch it in reverse.
That's a lot of.
Oh man.
Shit, it's true, man. The stuff they're coming out with, and you got like UK blogger and Skip Bayless. They're one of the two kind of same people. They're on it. Like first he said he gave credit to Floyd. Like no, I had Pacquiao win the fight. It was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. I was like, man, what a oh man, it's crazy. Man.
Hey, EJ.
Yeah.
And don't promote that bullshit on the page no more, man.
Well, UK blogger. No, I had to give him his time, man. I actually put him my channel to give him.
My god.
I actually put him on to say he was kind of wrong and to calm it down. But when I listened to the thing, I can't believe he said I'm waiting for the data for Mayweather to get knocked out. I couldn't believe he said that. I was like, what? He's like, all he cares about is seeing Mayweather to get knocked out. I said, this guy is crazy. So the hate he's getting from Fair Shake and some of the other guys, he brings on himself. Like, I can't. UK blogger, by the way, I'm talking to you. and you had a chance to come on the show, maybe you'll come on next week. So it ain't like I'm talking behind your back.
Yeah, because he was supposed to come on here and give me the business.
Yeah, never happened, man. Never happened. Hey, for the panel next week, let me put this right. If nothing's going on, Beats had this quiz show going on next week. So you guys, what you need, Joe Habib, Nai, me, Beats. If you don't mind, next week, you know, when we have a low time, we have a little quiz. Remember, Beats, you do your quiz.
Okay. So who's going to be the combatants? Who's going to
Everyone, Joe Habib, this is gonna be good because I'm the undisputed champion. I beat everyone. I don't care what Nai says. Nai can say whatever. I beat everyone.
Anyway.
Yeah, Beats has got this quiz, where he basically got questions from old time, new time fighters, and then obviously whoever wins the quiz wins the thing. So I'm the reigning champion, but I want to test myself against what you need and Joe Habib. This is gonna be good. We're gonna be good. Like, so next week, Beats, get some questions, and for you guys listening, it should be entertaining. Beats gonna put some good questions. So we have a questionnaire, a question show, so a quiz show. That's what it's not quiz show. A quiz show, so we test our knowledge of what we know. We ain't gonna lick us stupid. Right. It should be quite fun though, anyway. Other than that, I think we've covered quite everything, guys. Only thing to left is Beats and Joe Habib, Natty, and what you need. Say where people can catch you up, and then we'll wrap up. Go ahead, Beats.
Yeah, man. Facebook, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, and obviously YouTube, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, and
Okay.
And Twitter.
What's your Twitter handle, Beats?
Boxing Beats and Rhymes.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Joe Habib.
I'm on Twitter at JHabib1, and I'm on Facebook. My name's Joe Habib on Facebook, and anyone wants to get in contact with me or communicate with me, you can communicate with me there as well. The YouTube channel's still out there, JHabib1, but I don't really use it that much anymore like I used to.
Okay. All right. Natty Turner, Mr. Natty Turner.
Yeah, Mr. Natty Turner 1, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube, Blackbird Sugar Boxing. Blackbird Sugar on Twitter, Not to Turn on Facebook.
What you need? Go ahead.
I'm What You Need on YouTube. WATTUNEED.
Okay, and J Dills, he was over. You can catch him on YouTube. And the Boxing Terrorist Ben Umar, catch him on Twitter as the Boxing Terrorist, and also on YouTube. By the way, the panel, this Hangout, you can upload it on your channel if you want to. Obviously, I don't know how you guys do it. Usually do it for YouTube video upload, like me and Beats. So if you want
playlist?
Yeah, I'm just saying you can upload this Hangout, obviously, in this chat up on your Hangout, because I know Natty does and Beats does as well, if you want to. It's up to you guys, yeah? So from EJ Boxing Live, from this great panel, some of the great YouTube channels on YouTube, we'll catch you next week. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, all right? Peace.
All right, peace.
Bless up.